Steam Age. I am your humble Dungeon Master, DM Order, and I'm joined by these awesome individuals who are the heroes of the campaign, also known as the Crimson Peacekeepers. We've been doing this for well over a year and a half. If you're brand new, welcome. If you're a return viewer, welcome again. Tonight is session 74, and it is a treat because tonight it's going to be the Mézère family dinner being hosted tonight. I will say, for if you're brand new and you're curious about what's going on, don't worry. This is still kind of like the start of an arc, kind of like with the group trying to coordinate and gain allies, as well as establish themselves and finalize things before any of the bigger stuff is about to happen. So you're just in time to enjoy some of the more role-playing elements of our campaign. If you're curious about watching any of our previous episodes, they're all on our YouTube channel, Castles and Calamities. Feel free to check it out. It's a great time. We also have some of our, or all the episodes up to date for our sister campaign, which is hosted by DM Chaos. That part is right now, if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, that is available on our YouTube channel as well. So if you want to watch a show that takes place in a very grim sword and sorcery elements where heroes have been pushed forward 10 years into the future and must now try to save a world that has been taken over or at least influenced negatively by the evil disorder. Check it out. It's a cool time. Otherwise, if you're here, let's get into the session and talk about what happened last time on session 73 as we go into session 74. Last time, our group had has been finished their downtime sessions for about 1 week. During that week, they accomplished a lot with regards to things, but near the end of it, they saved an artist named Saeed from a beholder. The group obtained the beholder, and thanks to some bonuses, buffs, inspirations, enhanced abilities, Zanny was able to harvest pretty much everything: the membrum, the eye stalks, as well as the central eye. All of it was successfully harvested, and its skull now is in a room that within the fortress that Lance has warded away. So remember, Lance, every day you have to mark off first level spell slot to maintain the wards for it. Otherwise, the group after that was able to go and speak to the Arif of the area, Arif's Soledad Alitani. She is the Arif of the entire Nonabel Governorate, controlling and with her capital being Zarek. She expressed some, very quickly you all were able to tell that she was a very gruff Arif who very much was focused on the protections of her capital and wanting to know about what direction the group was standing in when it came to the Civil War. She did offer, though, several ways to try to help the group. The group was able to successfully persuade her to give you a pretty much free teleportation circle, keep an eye out on certain things, and a donation come a certain charity ball that the Mézère family may plan to have. The group afterwards then came across outside of the palace a gnome individual, a female, who challenged and kind of like was very direct to Big Red, and she called herself Big Orange. Big Orange demanded that Big Red take her under his wing, make her his apprentice, and start training her so that she could become a big shot hero, just like Big Red for it. Big Red kind of was on the fence until he had Lance duel her the next day. After lots of bonks with his cane and summoning a spirit of death, and her hacking and slashing using action surge and utilizing her champion fighter abilities, it ended up with her defeated. Still, she impressed Big Red enough that he made her his first student. And that's where we're picking up. It's the same day as the fight with Big Orange, but we're going into now the Mézère family dinner. So, what I would like everyone to do, please roll me a d20 and let's see what final preparations each and every one of you is doing before we get into the dinner itself. All right, Zanny with a 15, Alice with a 16, praise the 16, Lance 19. Wait, what's going on, guys? You guys are rolling way above normal. 18. Oh God, Erlon, please roll a d20 and 8. Jeez.
18. Oh my God, this is amazing.
It's happened. This is the first time every single one of the group has rolled above 10.
How are we gonna get a TPK at a dinner party?
Apparently, because I got to do something special with that. The first time, not only above 10, but also above 15. Every single one of you. The lowest number being Alice with a 16. Wow. Alice, I see you talking, but
Excuse
you're not.
you, Zanny got a 15. Thank you very
Oh, I'm
much.
sorry.
Yeah, hi, I'm
I
here.
love Zanny. Do not bring me down. Praise the 16.
Hey, girl, you right.
We need a
We
strong
did get doubles
caboose.
though. So Chance and Erlon, please roll me rollies, another d20.
Please roll a 1 and a 2. Oh.
17. And an 8. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Some balance with one person rolling below the 10. Okay. So we're gonna go Lance, then Chance, then Erlon, Alice, and then Zanny for tonight. Okay. Lance, tell me, would Lance be doing anything different in preparation for the feast, the Mazer family dinner, or is he mostly just keeping to himself or doing other projects? Go ahead, Lance.
What is the dress code for this party?
Semi-formal, airing towards formal. Alice is wearing a pretty darn nice dress today. Not
Lance.
full-on ball gown, but close.
Lance will put on his nice black robes
Nice black robe signaling the black
and clean the blood up and have Zanny stitch the things that if there was anything that didn't get magically healed.
Fair. All right.
Put a couple stitches in.
So Lance,
Can't
you have
bleed through the black robes.
Hey, black is very stylish and slim and definitely helps hide some blood internally, but outside stains notwithstanding. But great, Lance, you focus on getting ready with things, and just especially after your fight with Big Orange, if you want, you can mark a short rest for any arcane recovery that you want to do. Let's
that's a
go
good
then.
call. Does anybody else need spells? Are going to need spells recovered later? Okay. Aaron, are you going to need spells recovered later?
I don't think I did anything spell-wise that day.
Yeah.
Are you going to use magic to hide yourself?
I mean, yeah, I guess I am going to do that.
Okay. So you can actually recover up to 5 levels of spells.
Okay.
All right. Do you bonk from the head?
Yeah.
Okay. Chance, you get bonked on the head to get your spell slots. Lance, when you bonk, do you just traditional bonk or do you play a little bit with the horns as you bonk?
With Chance, it's always kind of a do.
Okay.
He does actually. He does shave and a haircut every time.
I don't need your spells back that bad.
Awesome. Love it. Speaking of which, Chance, is there anything Chance is doing in anticipation for the dinner party?
No.
All right. She prepares, and you are disguising yourself. Are you disguising yourself right away, before like 30 minutes before, or do you wait until like the dinner party is actually gone underway and then make your appearance casually late?
I mean, she wouldn't do it 30 minutes before. It's 30 minutes of wasting the spell that only lasts for an hour.
Okay. So carefully waiting until like the first guest arrives, and then activating it. For all those who would be told this, they would see that Chance is now appearing as a human with red hair.
Half elf.
Oh, sorry, half elf. Excuse me. Sorry. Good call. Half elf with red curly hair, pink feathers, and a pink dress. Very stylistic.
But that's not her dress.
What was that?
That's not the dress she's wearing.
Oh, not the. Okay, please describe me the dress that Lily will be wearing. If you're talking, you're on mute.
Just a minute, I'm trying to pull up pictures.
Wasn't sure.
Here, because I feel like Alice will hate that.
Let's take a look. Ball gown, poofy, very. What color would you call that?
It's sort of like a magenta and pink. Somewhere between magenta and like burgundy.
Burnt blush.
Okay. Hold on one sec. I'm just gonna upload that just so that way I can do a good job describing it. Save. And it's uploaded. And so for everyone out there, they see that Chance is wearing a very voluptuous burnt or burgundy magenta dress in her new disguise for it.
You know, that's how we should have kept social distancing during COVID, was bring back poofy ball gowns like that.
That would be hilarious.
If-
Yeah.
If everybody wore one of those, you would keep 6 feet away from each other because you had a 3-foot ring around you at all times.
My
I
God, are you
also
kidding?
figured that Chance needed a giant skirt that nobody, because it's imaginary, so nobody gets her tail. And like, why is there a tail on this person that doesn't have a tail?
That
It's
is
just a
true.
skirt.
It has to be curled in, tucked in a little bit.
No, it's just in the skirt.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Big Red. What does Big Red do in anticipation for the fancy dinner party? We're gonna ask a couple of questions. Let's just start with that.
Well, knowing that it's a Mazaire party, he's hoping that we're gonna get pretty sloshed. So he's kind of bracing himself for that. So getting his liver really nice and ready for it. And then also, he will actually conform and wear the nicest thing he has in his closet, I guess.
Will it be with sleeves?
Will be with sleeves.
The
For now.
sleeves are detachable on your nicest clothes.
That's
that
right.
we
That's
have.
right.
We
They are.
bought
So
you
you
ones
can-
that specifically didn't have sleeves.
You can start with sleeves.
Yeah, we got you
and
nice
if
ones
you
that don't have
want,
sleeves.
You can take them off later in the evening.
Okay. That's
We also
fine.
have ones that
See?
just don't have sleeves, period.
Well, no, because I had to have sleeves apparently.
So Lance would remind you, if you can start with sleeves and then at the beginning, and then when you're ready to really show off, you can take them off.
See? So I can still show. Okay. So yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna be wearing then.
Okay. Let me ask a question. Does Big Red use his +1 to be Big Orange?
Oh shit! I thought she was already kind of invited, so I don't have
I
to
just
use
want to
it.
make sure she is now
+1.
like following you around everywhere, but Alice is like,
Oh no!
everyone did get a +1. So
Yeah. Well, the
Alice, you're on
+1 was.
mute. If you're talking, you're on mute.
I know, my face should be enough.
The +1 was definitely gonna be saved for Eloquin, but I don't think we've made that portal yet for Jedna. So, I was gonna use my +1 for her. So if I have to, I'll use it for Big Orange.
Okay. So
Do I have to?
I don't know. That's up to you. Do you want to?
Well, I mean, I know. I was just wondering if she was invited, then obviously I wouldn't have to use the +1.
She is in Jedna.
No,
I
I'm
don't
saying if
know.
Big Orange was invited.
Oh, Big Orange. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, if Big Orange was invited, then I wouldn't have to use my +1 for her.
Okay, so let me ask Alice, would you have invited Big Orange? No.
How dare you?
Yeah, if she's chasing. So,
I'm done.
do you officially invite Big Orange? Yes or no?
No, I mean, I'd rather save it for a date. So I'm gonna
Okay.
use it for Eloquent.
Okay. You do know Eloquent's in another, basically like another state.
Yeah, I know.
You're contacting her,
I
right?
would. Yeah, I would have contacted her previously for this
You
lovely
ask
occasion.
her, basically, hey, are you able to come? Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay, I gotta persuade this chick to go.
There's a reason.
Oh God, because of the people that are probably coming, or what's going on.
You're asking her
There.
basically to cross enemy lines.
All right, she better be definitely persuaded.
Okay. She tells you, I'll see what I can do,
Oh,
Arlon. I'll see what I can do. Things are tense around the borders.
okay. Well, that as you wish. That's fine.
Okay. Let me send a quick message.
So basically, Erlon's gonna use his +1 for a cutout of Eloquent.
Okay, cool. With that being said, you have your sleeves, or not your sleeves, correcting myself. And then you go to the dinner. So let's go then next to Alice. Alice, what are you doing in preparation for the dinner? Your dinner. That
I
Bruce is sponsored. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm running around like an absolute maniac, making sure everything is like good to go. Like she is in and out of the kitchen, obsessively asking Zanny if everything's going to be done on time to make sure she doesn't need to take anything off the menu. She got dressed like 2 hours early just so she didn't have to worry about it. And then she's gonna go back, freshen up, and like do her hair again, like full on stressed.
So first off, Alice, roll wisdom saving throw, and Zanny, roll wisdom saving throw for patience.
I'm sorry, Zanny. I love you. Not good.
Alice, you're frantic, you're frazzled a lot. Zanny, you can interpret that 12 however way you want. So you can
Let's see.
respond to
She,
Alice.
she keeps coming in and out, and just there's progressively firmer versions of, please let me just do my work with Nasir, real Nasir, so that we can get this done. Until one point in time, you just walk in and there is a gun full on pointed at you. Out, just get out,
Get out. Get out.
Alice.
Zanny, are you sure?
Get out. I got this. Work on the drinks, honey. I got this. Okay, it's okay.
So
Okay.
does Zanny invite Big Orange? Because I saw something in the chat about that.
No, I'm gonna be
No.
nice.
Okay. Because I was about to say Alice would have seen Big Orange in the kitchen, but okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be nice. She's made it clear she doesn't want Big Orange there, so so Zandy's not gonna go behind Alice's back.
I already have one wild card in Erlon. I cannot have a second.
How dare you?
Yeah, Big Orange is annoyed, but like, fine, have your fancy smancy dinner party.
I don't even know you.
Hi, I'm Big Red's student apprentice. I'm Big Orange. Who are you?
I'm Alice. I've been Erlon's friend longer than you, so back to the fortress with you. All right, darling. We'll come and get you when it's time. I'm sure you're a lovely person. I have too much to worry about, rather than a second Big Red.
You know, she could run security.
I'm Big Orange. I'm not Big Red. I'm making a name for myself. Thank you very much.
We got the invite list. All she's got to do is check names off.
As she walks off, you always see just her orange hood wherever you go. It's kind of like a shark
It's
in the
so
water.
gaudy. It's so gaudy.
Perfection. Anything else for Alice before we switch to Zanny?
No, she's just being an absolute maniac. This is what she's wearing, by the way, but it's a bit fuller of a skirt and it's wine colored, not that light pink, because it's not spring. We're going into wintertime and we need a much darker, more muted color. So it's wine colored instead.
Okay. Give me a sec as I upload that. For the folks back home, can you describe it one more time once I upload it?
Yeah.
DM is not the best in describing dresses. Let's just leave it at that.
Crazy, me either. No, she's wearing, it's a very like fancy most of the dress is made of a nice fabric, but like the bottom is a very pretty lace. It's floral. There's like a nice, I'm not good at describing this shit either, embroidered applique. So it sort of looks like the dress is water dripping down into the lace. There's lots of bows on the bodice, lots of bows, lots of laces. Very fancy at the top, but not overdoing it. Okay, she's still got that very trim figure. The skirt is bigger than this because I believe this is the 1900s, and
1900 on the dot.
yes, yeah, like this dress is from the 1900s, so we can't possibly be doing that. But it's a wine color, delightful. Yes.
Disclaimer, just to make sure, we don't own any of these pictures. These are pictures we found on the internet when it comes
Yeah,
to
this is
dresses.
an actual dress.
So amazing dresses for whoever created them or art.
It
Those
was
are
by
great.
Mason Clerget in Paris in 1898.
Oh, nice. And that also applies to Chance's dress. Just want to put that. Oh, Chance, your dress is from Midjourney. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that dress-
it's still probably copyrighted based on other people's dresses, but
yeah, so true.
AI steals, but
Yeah. All right. Zanny, let's go to you next. What is Zanny doing? I'm assuming cooking, but anything else other than cooking that Chef Zanny is doing?
No, it's pretty frantic. She's putting on a full family meal for 40 people 40 plus people buffet style, and her only hope is Nasir. So she has taken the carpet and she is just flying around the kitchen just as needed to get things, if whenever carpet doesn't need to be doing anything, carpet's free to just hang out in the kitchen and look around, but otherwise carpet's hanging out with me, and we're going on rides around the kitchen as I need to get to the high shelves.
Great.
And I'm dressed in pretty like plain clothes right now for all the everything, but like after the meal is actually starting to be served and it's all cooked, Zanny is going to abscond and change into actual evening wear after she doesn't have to be cooking anymore.
Great. Do you want to describe the dress that she's wearing, or that she'll eventually be wearing?
It's nothing extremely special. It's just Zanny's like black slip dress that she wears. Like it's your classic like lady in a black dress. And she is just that's just her. That's always been her go-to for like the last probably 20 something years for formal occasions. She just puts on that black dress and she says, "I'm good to go."
Yeah, it's that black dress, the one and the only.
Yeah, it's literally she owns one slinky black dress and that's it.
Great. All right. For the cooking, I want you to roll a cooking check with advantage, please. And if Alice, in any of your meanderings or at all coming into the kitchen, want to inspire Zanny, you may do so, but I need to know what exactly you're saying that would be inspirational instead of aggravating.
Oh, instead of aggravating, then probably not.
It has to actually be something.
She's gonna come slinking back in after the whole gun fiasco, and she's just gonna very quietly go, "Zanny, I'm very sorry. I trust you immensely. That's why I gave you control over this, but you have to understand this is my first dinner party in a very long time, so I'm going to walk away now. I'm not going to come back. I know I love you.
I'm not going to draw on you again. That was dumb. I'm sorry. This is just a lot of stress. There's so many people out there."
Yes, and you've got this. You've got this.
Okay,
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, roll with an inspiration, a D8, please. 17. Okay. 17 is great. You definitely are able to cook everything in a good way. No issues or errors in any of the cooking. Everything comes out really, really well for it. With that being said, let's get into the first off, does anyone have like anything like any other last things they want to say or do before we get into like the different stages of the dinner? Okay, so let's get into it. So, security. What are you guys doing for security for the dinner party? I think I saw some messaging behind the scenes for it, but I just want to see, is there any security measures that are being taken for people who arrive at the Mizer mansion?
I thought that's why we kept Erlan in our party.
Okay.
That's why. That's
I-
that's the only reason why.
I
And your
started
muscles.
I
Thanks.
started to mention it, but to keep it away from Chance, did we? I was asking, and then I got distracted making dinner. The what you call it?
Beholder eye.
Yeah, does that?
The anti-magic
That's
eye, yeah.
limited to the same. Goes through things like magic spells, right? So like
Yeah.
it doesn't go through like an inch of lead, a foot of wood, or
Correct.
etc.
Yeah. So if you have like a wall, it'll hit the wall, but it won't go through that wall.
If we put an inch of wood, it would go through it, though, right?
Correct.
Could we put a Alice? If I make it look fancy, can we put it behind a fancy box, looking at everybody as they walk in to make sure there's no shapeshifters walking in here?
How ugly is this thing?
It's a giant eyeball, but I'm gonna fabricate a pretty decorative box over the door, looking down at everybody as they walk in.
No, I only ask because if you could display it well in a bouquet of flowers, I would have had a flower arranger make it so it was.
We don't want it on the table, so it's not revealing Chance. We want to catch people as they're walking in the door.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
I can do it as a door knocker or anything like that on the door itself.
Perfect.
But it's a giant basketball-sized eyeball.
Okay, less perfect.
But that's why I said I can hide it in something that's like, if you have like the gargoyle things on the sides of the door, we can replace one of those with this inside of it, out of wood, looking that direction.
I'm sure we have a
And
decorative vase out there somewhere.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We can do something like that.
Yes.
That looks like that. We can fabricate something that looks like that with this inside of it, so that we can just have this anti-magic area right when people walk in. So Chance needs to already be inside, not come through the front door.
That sounds good.
But
I
then
will allow it.
But then that way, if somebody else wants to, if we want to check for any other sketchy people, we can do that.
All right. So you set this up, mark off a 4th level spell slot that same day. If that is part of your arcane recovery, then that's fine. But just make sure you notate that you're using those points somehow, some way. But you are able to fabricate are you aiming for a vase or are you aiming for a box or a gargoyle?
Whatever is outside, I'm going to take one off and replace it with a similar one, but out of.
Let's go with a vase then, a giant vase.
Whatever Alice would have outside of her door, I would replace what's there with.
Position it in an angle, and yeah, it hits the front door. Anybody coming through the front gate entrance, even anybody coming in through while the gates are open, into the street, any people that are in carriages. So
right,
great. You set that up, and you test it, and it works. You send like a familiar to go, and it puts a claw for Sheldon puts like a claw, and it disappears, and then pulls it back.
Perfect.
Great. All right. That security, and then I'm sure, Arlon, are you as hired muscle? Are you also going to be going around with the axe out?
How this? I will place. Come on, place it in my spot at the table, but. No, that's his baby. I feel like I would not just put. I don't know. No, I'll keep the axe with me at all times.
Alice, can we have the skellies?
Just shakes
What
Look,
if
Alice
I put
already
them in
has me
tuxes?
not wearing stupid stuff, so I'm gonna have my axe.
Alice, what if I put all the skeletons in tuxes?
No.
But Nemo would look so cute in a tux.
Bruce, I know this is also overwhelming, but Bruce also comes to Alice. He's like, remember you mentioned, darling, about hiring bodyguards for me and the family. I also did contract with Firewell Security, so I could have a orcish individual with guns around in case of anything.
I'm more inclined to that only because I worry what having skeletons around would do for our image, darling.
He minor illusions because he is a bard now. He's like, this is Gratz. He's a member of Firewell Security.
Is he scarier than a skeleton in a tux?
Yeah.
Is he
I
which
mean, you
one's
see the
worse to
image,
have at a
Grat.
party?
You see Grat. I mean, wait, just to make sure, you see the image,
Oh,
right?
I do see the image. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
was on my character sheet. Okay,
Gotcha.
just Nima and no one else.
Wait, are you talking
That's-
to Bruce
To
or
Lance.
Perfect.
She
Lance will
has to be fully clothed.
Lance will run upstairs and go get what Nima in his tux.
poor Grat? Alice just shoots it down. No, Bruce.
Nima comes downstairs with a magic sword, like tucked in her, like around her waist, like a ceremonial sword, in his full solid black tux.
There we go. Awesome. All right. Let the dinner party begin. So the way this is going to work, we're going to go very quickly, kind of like montage in different scenes for things. First things first. Let's go with Alice. Roll me a D6, please. A 3. Okay. Great. So, guests start to come in with things, and actually, I'm going to ask Alice for one more roll, and the only reason I'm doing this is for you is this is your dinner party, so expect the rolls. Roll me a D100. 1. Perfect. Okay. So, walking through, like the very first
Hold
person.
on. Should I re-roll that?
No.
No,
Okay.
the
first
first person
person-
that walks through explodes in the anti-magic field.
I mean, you're not wrong. First person coming in is one of your invitees, is Sarah Trad. She's a member of House Trad, and she comes in like approaching the gate. Or is Alice at the gate welcoming people, or is she assigning that to Bruce?
At the gate, not at the door.
Like she's getting out the gate because there's the gate and then the front door for it. It's basically the front yard. You have a gate and a walled area for the front yard, essentially.
You have two stages of doors.
Yes, yeah.
So just
as
let's-
hosts we would be welcoming inside.
Well, let me give you remember going back to the Mazera mansion. Give me 1 second. Just want to show you because you would be familiar with this.
Or is real Nazir out opening the gate?
So to be clear for everyone, or Alice, you see this area, the new map, and you see the bottom where I'm pinging.
Yes, I also see Dion and Reveno sitting in my parlor.
Yeah, I'm going back.
I
This is
know.
when you had that conversation. So anyway,
Yeah.
point is, I'm asking where would Alice or Bruce be meeting them? Would it be at the very front gate, at the front door, or at the side door leading to the backyard?
I honestly would say we're near the front of the foyer. Just
Okay.
like so as people come in, we're some of the first people they see, but like real Nasir is or Nima is in charge of, making sure people get out into the door. You don't want to seem too overeager, but you also want to be present.
Okay. Is the eye like right here at the front of the door, Lance? Is it right here in the foyer area, or are you putting it positioning it so it's
I was assuming like right here to like
Okay.
scan people out here outside.
Gotcha. So in order to even enter, they will have passed through that anti-magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Catch
Fair enough.
them before they get inside and can cause problems.
Gotcha. Perfect. So just like who's opening the door then? The gate. That's gonna be my question to you, Alice. Or Lance, if you have a suggestion, go ahead.
If Lance would have suggested like Real Nasir out here, Alice and Brucey in here, Nima security back here.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Okay.
Real Nacy is at the gate until everybody has arrived, and then he'll go about his butlering duties.
All right. Real Nasir at gate. Right. All right. So back to the nat one on a D100.
Hey, that's a 1% chance. You did really good.
Yeah.
I mean, all rolls on a D100 are a 1% chance of getting that number.
That is true. Math.
But you got the best one. You're number one, Alice.
You're number one. Okay. Alice, Sarah Trad comes walking through the front gate and she immediately stops and looks ill and immediately backtracks in front of like Nasir. What are you doing as she's kind of like skulking away a bit?
She's like the first person here, yes.
Yeah, she's the first person arriving
Okay.
and immediately about to leave.
Alice is going to
You're
make a
inside, so if you want to get outside, you have to walk quickly.
Yeah, no, she's gonna make a show of throwing open the door and being like, "What's her name?
Sarah Trad.
Sarah, darling, it's been so long."
Yes. I'm sorry. I suddenly feel very ill. Forgive me. I have to go. Take care. Ta-ta. And she immediately is starting to get rushed towards her carriage. Are you following her?
Yes. Where's Lance at?
The theater of the mind. Lance, where would you be?
He's probably hanging out in the foyer waiting for people too.
Okay. Alice is going to follow after her at a brisk but not intimidating pace.
Would Zanny have connected us all mentally?
100%.
100%. Awesome. All right. Go ahead. And this is theater of the mind. Anyone can interject.
Alice is going to assume it's possibly the eye and go, Lance is causing a problem already.
Lance is going to follow Alice out to see what is going on.
All right. Alice, are you trying to stop her from leaving in a charismatic way, or are you going to try to stop the carriage in a magical, physical way?
Oh, no, we're not magical physical tonight, darling. We are all charisma.
Okay, so roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
That is under right here. I'm looking in the wrong spot. Disadvantage. I rolled a 1. I would respectfully like to.
That'll allow you to luck.
Do I reroll it one more time or 2 more times? I like a disadvantage again.
It's a disadvantage, so you just roll one more time.
Oh.
It's gonna be disadvantage. 19.
Better. I have a plus 13, by the way.
Yeah, plus 13 helps with it. You don't need a dirty 20, but yeah, this is definitely something that she doesn't race away right away, but you definitely see her agitated and looking ill, like she wants to go.
Darling,
you catch up to the carriage and are looking in to inside.
I also forgot to say that I am wearing my banana perfume tonight.
Okay. You're wearing banana. You smell like bananas. Great. And
yes,
you have
that's
a
the one
+2.
for nobles.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it so that going forward, not retroactively. Go ahead.
Darling, does she smell like bananas?
She does not.
Okay. Darling, you're not wearing any sort of magical perfume or whatnot, are you?
Oh no, I feel very ill suddenly. I'm sorry, dear.
No. With all that's been going on with Bruce lately, we have a bit of a deterrent around the door. So I just wanted to make sure you are okay and let you know that if you get into the house, things will feel better.
Of course, I still feeling very ill. I'm sorry.
Can I do anything, darling? I really don't want to see you go. It has been too long.
Well, maybe I don't know, if you're able to turn off whatever it was, that thing. I don't know. I'm very ill at the moment. I'm sorry.
Did
you can roll an insight check.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did Lance tell us what it would do to a person?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because it's also the beholder eye. Let me roll for her.
Yeah, Lance would have told you it nullifies all magic.
So if she was like a shapeshifter, she would just turn back into.
So
Like
she would, if
face
she was a shapeshifter, she would walk in, she would revert to her natural form, but as soon as she walked out of it, she would go back to her original
So
form.
to clarify, the shapeshifting ability is biological, but it's fueled by magic. So it would have an adverse effect on them that if they stayed in there for like 6 seconds, would revert them back.
Right, but when they get out of it, they turn back, right?
Correct.
It's like moonbeam in a
Exactly.
sense that if they walk through it, they go back to their original shape, but as soon as they get out of it, they go back to their normal shape.
Correct.
Okay.
So, Alice, with that being said, roll an Arcana check as well.
Oh, of course.
You feel like she's not being fully truthful, especially a sudden ache and then the mentioning of like turning off the ward. Couple that with what Lance just said, you're starting to be a little worried about who this person is.
As Lance is walking up behind you, Lance will just tell you in your head, because I assume you're saying this to him.
Mm-hmm.
Lance will just say, "Pricker, we'll turn it off if she'll let us prick her finger."
Okay, look, to err on the side of caution, darling, you're more than welcome to come inside, and we will turn it off. Obviously, it is most important that I allow for the comfort of all of my guests. My dear compatriot here just requests that we can prick your finger first, and I'll fix it. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, then I have to decline. I'm just adverse to blood magic. You understand?
No, of course I understand, darling. It'd be very uncouth. That's why I leave it up to your discretion. Obviously, I just
Thank you. But
wanted to give you the opportunity.
I'll send word. I'll send a gift. Apologies for that all. I hope your dinner goes very well.
Perhaps we can go get lunch one of these days, darling, out in public.
I think that would be a fine idea. Take care, dear. Farewell. And she quickly tells the coachman to move.
Alice is gonna turn around and look at Lance and go, "The first one."
Yeah, that was a doppelganger. You know why you prick the finger?
They bleed blue.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to force her and drag her out the car. I mean, this is why we are the welcoming committee and not, Erlon, but at least we'd know for certain should Erlon turn his axe on her, whether or not she was a changeling, but it's fine. That's a later problem.
I don't think that's what Erlon would have turned on her. She's pretty.
She's not an elf, though, darling.
I will say, Alice, roll a d6. Okay, roll now an insight check.
I don't know what that is. Oh, not bad.
Good, 22. You don't know for certain. You have no concrete proof. You have things that are tells, but no proof for a full accusation. But the mere whisper that this is a changeling may cause a scandal amongst the Trad family. Because number one, you don't know if this is a hostile thing, that this person has been kidnapped, taken, absconded, and is trying to infiltrate your place as a changeling, or if Sarah Trad has always been a changeling in hiding. But this could be something you use in the future.
Alice does point at Lance and go, "Absolutely tell no one."
I don't even really know who that was.
I don't care. Look, I don't want you to even mention the possibility of a person, all right?
Well, there's 40 people on your guest list?
Yes.
Technically 80, everyone had a +1.
Okay.
But yeah.
You sent out 40 invites.
Yes.
We've lost 2.5% already.
Well, we'll just say she took ill.
Which is true.
Oh, yes, look. Back inside. I don't want to be caught at the gate like some weirdo.
Peasant.
Same
Now.
thing.
Next thing, Alice, roll a d10. This is going to determine how many no-shows you have. 8 refusals.
Why is that the highest number I roll?
I don't know. I'm going to ask you to roll I'm going to start asking you to roll d10s. So roll 4 d10s for me. Then I'm going to ask you again. Okay, we have 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. Salazar Knight is a no-show. The Paragon leader, Ildrum, or spokesperson, is a no-show. Aisha Hers is a no-show. And you find out, Amal, the other business partner, is a no-show.
Can I luck one of those?
Nope. This is now roll another 4d10 because this is the next 8 we said. Okay, 7, 10, 9, 8, 7. Cornelius Yonderhill, the railroad and train person, is doesn't show up. The hotel owner does not show up. Another person, family, does not show up, and then the person who owns the furniture store does not show up. So you're down officially 9 guests times 2, so 18 no-shows. What is Alice's reaction to this?
The whole night is ruined. Everything I was worrying about for real. I knew it was going to be a problem. She's just pacing around every time she passes Zanny, she's like, I knew it was going to happen. In your head, it's just an incessant stream of consciousness.
By now, Zanny's done cooking, so she is flying along beside you in the carpet, just hand on your back, just circles, just going, it's gonna be okay, honey. It's gonna be fine. They're gonna start showing up. It's gonna be fine. And they're not going to be sick when they get to the door either. Whiskey's over there, gin's over there, and rum is that way.
Can I go get some gin?
As the next person comes in, you see it is Simon Steelboots, owner of the gramophone store. And he comes bearing a gift for the Mazars. First edition record of classical music for you to play.
Darling, this is so very thoughtful.
Simon. He is a dwarf, heavily tattooed. He wears customary steel-tipped boots because of his family name. But otherwise, he's wearing a very fine dwarven suit.
Sorry, I'm writing down my gifts.
Yep. All right.
Alice, for your recap next week, I expect thank you cards.
Thank you cards. Yep. About a quarter in, a, shall we say, unexpected individual appears, waltzing through the door as if he owns the place. It is Reza Springheart. Oh,
You were not invited.
Oh, I'm always invited, darling. Anyway, and I bear a gift for the legendary Big Red, and behind him is Eloquin. So move aside, darling. And he just shoos you away, Alice.
Well, Eloquin, it seems you are actually on the list, and I don't know why you've brought this +1 with you, but you are welcome as always. Erlan is...
He was my ride.
He's my +1.
Don't tell Erlan that he was your ride.
Erlan, you come into the scene.
Of course I do.
You see Alice saying that.
Hey, everybody. I did not notice Eloquent just yet.
Alice is gonna hook her arm through Eloquin's and be like, Erlan, look who I brought for you.
Actually...
Nope. Shh. Look who I brought for you.
So very visibly, you can see Erlon's face glows, super happy, smiling ear to ear. He's like, "Oh my God, Alice, this is the best gift ever.
Don't say I never do anything for you, darling. And she's just gonna kind of like put a hand on Eloquent's lower back and just kind of push her slowly towards Erlon.
Yep. And Erlon, your +1 is with you throughout the night. As well,
Hey,
Reza, who is immediately schmoozing and talking about how fabulous it is and how Alice begged him to be amongst the invitee list and to come.
Zanny, all you hear is, Zanny, did you pack the muzzle?
I never leave home without it.
Just put a silence bubble around him.
With that being said, the dinner gets underway. So let's go into a little bit. We're going to go into different stages, as I mentioned. Let's start with Lance. Lance, what are you doing most of this dinner? Are you schmoozing with people? Are you kind of like just laying low, observing people? Are you trying to like eavesdrop or just enjoy the party?
Lance is gonna make Alice owe him so many favors after this, but Lance is doing his best noble schmoozing on behalf of Alice and Bruce.
Okay. Do you want a general schmoozing or do you want to like target a certain person? You saw the list of like who was coming. If you want to like ask if that person was a show or no show, I can let you know. Otherwise, you can just roll a d40 or just say generally you're schmoozing.
Let's just pick somebody.
The list should be right here. Oh,
Is it
you didn't
roll?
do. It's the slash roll d40, not roll slash d40. There you go. 27. Okay. 987. Okay. Simon Steelboots, the person who owns the gramophone store. So, you start to schmooze with him. Do you basically talk about music, right, Lance, or like recorded sounds?
Yeah.
Okay. And mind you, this is the first person you're schmoozing. You're definitely schmoozing with everyone, but this is just like the highlighted person for things. You roll me a charisma check with advantage because you're not necessarily persuading, but you are showcasing things, and I'm giving you advantage just because of the night. 14. 14 is good. So you're able to get a good. You are able to act as a good spokesperson, basically for Alice, and highlight her attributes, highlight the elements like she has a piano for there. You describe the different elements of like technology or magic and sound, and you do really good with things, and you schmooze throughout the night with regards to it. All right. Anything else you want to just highlight that Lance is doing throughout the night?
Is this person green?
Yes, there is a half orc named Monica Madlish.
Lance finds his way to green.
I regret this, but okay. You find your way to this heiress of a noble house, and you start schmoozing her specifically. Roll me a charisma check with advantage. 5. You maybe have a little too much to drink, and you may mention, I like green women, and she doesn't find that very. She finds it very uncouth and gravitates away from you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Anything else you want to do?
No, he just wanders away at that point.
Drinking and just refocusing his efforts from advances to networking.
Have we talked to any of these other people before?
You have. You would know. Saeed is there, the painter who painted the portraits for the group. You would have met Theo Elderberry. He's there, the one who you guys are a little suspicious now about entangling with him. You would have met also Rorol Helun, the fish folk who is in charge of the golden carriages, the premier kind of taxi, as she's calling them, service for all the carriages being painted golden.
Oh, after Lance gets shot down by Monica, he's gonna go talk to her in Primordial.
Yep.
And so you just hear him just bubbling away in the corner.
Yep, and she's very much all fish folk in their own native tongue are much more eloquent. So she's able to have a very good conversation with you. Other individuals that you may know, you would have met briefly Lemtosh. He's in charge of the cinemas. He is a black dragonborn. And then let me see if there's anyone else aside from Reza. Oh, you would have seen the general would be walking around laughing, socializing with the people there. He definitely brought a gift for Alice, which is, let me just, Alice, roll a d6 for me. Six. Okay. The general, he brings a certificate forward. Well, it's a letter is the gift. And once you and Bruce open it, it is a certificate for a gold-plated printing press for personal use. So not industrial size, but basically can be printing small manuscripts on your own. That's what you get with a 6. What is Alice's reaction to that?
Just absolutely trying to kind of keep it together about how neato this is, but very much tittering like, oh, thank you so much, darling. This is amazing. I actually know someone who might really enjoy the use of this, as well as me.
And he laughs. He's like, of course. What would be the best? I was thinking, what would be the best gift to give one of the premier paper industrialists? We always need more support, and we always want to support the good people, the people who truly embody nobility. And you can roll an insight check on that.
Yeah, I was like, barf.
Yeah, strangely enough, you kind of feel like he means it, the idea of true nobility, in the sense of not just the rich, but just certain ideals, nobility.
Interesting.
So yeah, there we go. But yeah, that would be those, to answer your question, Lance. Those are the individuals that you would know personally, or at least you and the group would have met, other than I'm not sure if Chance has mentioned anything, but we'll just leave that as that for it. Okay, Alice. Well, before that, Lance, anything else before we move on?
No, other than that, he's going to be friends with everybody by the end of the night.
Okay. I will mention for you, Alice, you do see Agravain does come in, and he is wandering about, schmoozing as well with the elite, and he is enjoying himself with the drinks and the food, and he is very happy to see Bruce and just ecstatic at Bruce's daringness and boldness with the judicial system. Alice, as a faithful wife, does she compliment or say anything to Agravain?
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna be the dutiful wife, and hit him with it's always because we're here to support each other and take care of each other, and it's been so fantastic for Bruce to have a man like you around, just the full on, I'm glad we're in this together. Deception? What? Yeah. What? Me? Deceitful? What letter does that start with?
15. All right, let me roll for him.
Maybe I kind of threw it on a little thick.
Okay. He's like, yeah, that's of course, and he roll an insight check for me. Yeah, he does pick up a little bit, but not a whole lot. Like he thinks like maybe he upset you somehow, but
just nerves.
He plays it off well. All right, let's go to Chance. Chance, what is Chance doing throughout the multiple buffet style servings and the dinner party? Is she smoozing? I'm gonna say that word a lot tonight. Schmoozing? Is she keeping more to herself? Is she gravitating towards certain individuals that are at the party, or just generic chit chat? Go ahead.
She is spying, is what she's doing mostly. She's
If I may, before if you're spying, roll me a stealth to see how good you are at keeping hidden while spying, and then perception check.
well, I mean, she's not like hiding spying. Like
Oh,
she's
okay.
just like staying on the outside and like looking at, paying more attention to certain individuals.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can roll a stealth to see if they talk to me. I don't know.
I would say roll me a stealth check. It just for like the sake of it, like people not like noticing you staring or anything of that. 15's good. Yeah, great. And then roll me the perception check. 20. Great. You're able
which
to
is
get
fantastic. And also, I can read their lips from afar, so I don't even have to like be close enough to listen in.
Yep, that's what I was going to get to. So you're able to spy a lot of good conversations just from reading lips.
I'm spying on specific people.
Okay.
I'm not just.
Good. Which specific people, if you have them?
Yeah. So she is curious who Emery came with.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is probably going to send Hamra to kind of tail Emery and like telepathically communicate if anything interesting is going on over there that she needs to pay attention to. But she herself is going to kind of tail Yarden.
Okay.
And then she'll have Jack just kind of follow Agravain.
Gotcha. Great. Interesting thing to note. Emery appears without anyone. And that brings Yarden eventually comes over and talks to Emery. And through Hamra's ears, you're able to hear Yarden ask, Emery, is everything okay? Emery. Yes, and just haven't been well these last few days. I'm sorry to hear that. I heard you haven't been home in a while. Yes, it's troubling news. I've learned it requires my full attention. I've been sleeping in the Palace of Books, per the Arif's request. Strange. I heard that you were on administrative leave, though. Yes, that is what the public is hearing, Yarden. I see. Forgive me, my friend. Well, whatever it is that the Arif has you working with, I hope it goes well. Good luck with it. Yes, thank you. And you can see that there's definitely with your passive insight can tell that Emery is trying to keep distance with Yarden.
Yeah, and then that's why Chance Lily is kind of paying attention to Yarden because she doesn't know if she's trying to get his vibe. If he's cool, if he's not cool.
Yep.
She might actually at some point even have a conversation with him, but probably later in the evening.
Yep. Yarden is giving off a very amicable vibe. A lot of people come to see him. He is the first magister, as in he is basically in charge of all magical issues within the city. Anything that revolves around arcane use, he technically has like the final say below the Arif. So it's a very valuable and powerful position, but a lot of delegation unless he actively intervenes. So a lot of the more industrialist individuals kind of like don't really talk to him too much, but any of the individuals that have magical potency, sell magical items, or deal with magic definitely talk to him. An example, Tifa Sokol, one of the judges in the city, a gnomish individual, talks to him about the zones of truth that are in the courthouses. like talking about those elements being installed or being retrofitted or being reevaluated. So anybody that is talking to him, he does actively listen. And he does like kind of like summon a notebook that is animated and just takes down notes for him, kind of like in Harry Potter, Rita Seeker style. But he is well respected amongst the elite in this party, but not he's well respected, but not universally liked in that sense, because some people are more focused on the industry as opposed to industry technology as opposed to magic.
But he doesn't usually like taking bribes or any sort of like shady business.
Correct. You don't see him taking any bribes, and he, as a note, did not bring a gift for Alice. Which could be seen both ways. Could be seen as a sign of integrity, like, hey, I'm not bribing you or anything, but also could be taken in like, yeah, I'm just here for the party. But anything else perchance before she may talk to him after the or during late in the party?
No, she's definitely spending the first half just following her targets.
Okay, great. Let's go to Erlon. Erlon, you have your date with you, Eloquent. What are you doing throughout the rest of the party?
Oh man, my attention is literally all only on her. No, he's gonna mainly just focus on, I guess, conversations with Eloquent and just honestly being with Eloquent.
Yeah.
He may actually well, not look, but also kind of check on the whole like idea of what's going on with Agravain, since he knows of him being the only quote unquote possible threat as of right now. Just with knowledge that's known. But other than that, I mean, we may have a keen eye just because of, who we are on everybody, but not just, I mean, we're going to focus a little bit more on him than anybody else.
Okay. Please roll me, because you're distracted, perception check with disadvantage. I believe you get advantage for it, so it's going to be a straight roll.
Okay.
Yep. Because you're distracted.
That's fine. Oop, I almost did it with advantage. Flat. There it goes. Flat. 19.
19's good. You do an admirable job, even though you're distracted. You have Eloquence here with you. You still do a good job talking to different people, paying attention to different conversations that are had. All the food is delicious, so you don't even get distracted by the amazing Rian style food that Zanny has cooked, especially like the more main course elements. Let me just double check. For those who are at home, the dinner menu consists of the following. Zanny, just very briefly, do you want to highlight elements of your dinner menu? We'll get back to Earl on your turn, but Zanny, do you want to highlight anything that she would have put a lot of care to for the courses?
The a lot of it is easy prep stuff that can be sent around, but the main stuff that she really put a lot of work into was like the like the main dishes, the starter dishes, and then the desserts. The ones that really that come down to like your choice of this or that, those are the things that she actually cooked. Everything else is a lot of prep, put on a plate, and serve it around the tables.
Gotcha. Great. So, still delicious food. We made you roll for it. So, Erlon, you definitely are having focus a little bit more on the proteins.
Yep.
Zanny prepared. They're delicious, but you're not distracted. You do tail or speak to Agravain. Are you striking up a conversation with him or just keeping an eye on him?
Yeah, we're fucking peacock. We're gonna fluff our feathers up at him. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna at least go to him, kind of size him up to see if he'll crumble per se.
Okay, can you just describe a little bit more? What do you mean size him up? Like, are you
Yeah,
flexing
like
up muscles in front of him, sort of deal? Or are you
so we're gonna do
talking
it
to
in
him
typical
words?
Big Red fashion, like oh hello, I'm Big Red, if you don't know who I am.
Oh, I've heard of you. I've heard of you from the papers. You're Big Red, traveling with the Crimson Peacekeepers. One of them is my business partner's wife. Um, yes, you have heard of you.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard of you. What's your name?
Oh, I'm just a humble industrialist. My name is Agravain Al Mutkam.
Oh,
I work with Bruce Mazer, partners with the paper industry, the best paper across Aramere. And I heard you like to do autographs. Is that correct?
I do, I do, I do.
Great. Are you using by any chance paper industry's paper when you autograph?
Of course I am. It's one of the
Good.
best. And if I don't have any available, Alice is very close with some for me.
Good. We have to beat those paper cut press bastards.
Yeah, and it's good to hear that you are such good friends of Brucey. I love good old Bruce.
Brucey. That's the first
Yeah.
time I've heard him being called that aside from Alice.
Oh
Uh,
well, well, since I'm going to be training him, from
oh,
here
you're
on out.
training Bruce.
Of course I am. That man has a lot of work that can be done. But he also, is very willing and able to do so, which is great. Do you work out by any chance?
Oh no, I'm I'm just a simple man. Uh,
Yes, I know. I can see that.
yes. So, uh, I usually just hire guards who are much more stronger than me. I focus on what is important to my best skills. Let
Oh, and
let
and
industrialists handle industrialism and let bodyguards handle guard work.
gotcha. And these guards are the ones that keep you nice and safe, tucked
Of
nicely
course.
in your little bed.
Yep, that's what we pay them for. Pay people like them, any individuals, heroes like yourself, just to guard people.
Yeah, I mean, but with those guards, how did that whole fire or whatever happen, all that kind of stuff? That's just crazy, isn't it?
It is. Been a
Yeah.
lot of conversations with that. A lot of the rumors around it, that Bruce Mazer's mismanagement. I don't believe a word of it. That
You-
Bruce is responsible for allowing the fires to happen, locking the people inside so that they can get caught up. I don't want you or anyone to believe a word of that.
Oh no, not of Bruce. I mean, he would definitely not do something like that.
I know,
Um,
right? Like all the accusations against him, besmirching his character, even the mere accusation is damning,
yeah,
especially in
but
these times.
and you speak so highly of Bruce, and so many other people speak highly of him. You wouldn't, want to be in his role at all, or maybe want to take over paper industries at one point?
16, no. I'm he handles or he has handled things quite admirably. Let
Hmm.
him handle that. I will work on support and of course making the money as a one-third partner in with regards to it.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have goals. I mean, I have goals every single day, and I conquer them, and I move on to other goals.
My
You being an
friend,
industrialist.
my goals is to conquer two things or three things: money,
Oh,
wine, women.
that's crazy, and I think every single one of those Bruce does. So why would you not envy a guy like that, huh? Am I right?
Uh, between let's just say I haven't found the right one for when it comes to the women aspect.
Yeah, but
But
the
who
money.
knows? I'll maybe find one in Ardita one of these days, as I like to frequent many times.
Insight check.
Sure, roll an insight check.
I don't want
Ooh,
you to know this, but Detective Erlon is on the
that is
case.
a natural 20.
Well, good news for me. I'm going to roll a fucking 8.
Yeah, you believe him. He definitely seems eager to find a woman. The implication is he'll find anyone. He'll sleep with anyone, and he's waiting to find someone, though, special.
So he'll go to any needs to get what he wants. That's what you're saying to me.
Hmm.
I say, okay.
Detective Erlon on the case.
Detective Erlon is definitely on the case. Well, maybe one day I'll see your name in the papers. Just like, you've seen mine, quite a bit. And maybe we might, if you ever want to, I can maybe train you as well, since you want to be so much like Bruce.
Yeah, if tempting offer, if you ever get into freelance, I'll definitely consider hiring you to protect my person.
Oh no, you don't need to hire me. I'm probably too expensive for you. You can save that for the women you want to find.
All right, fair enough. Well, Big Red, hope you enjoy the rest of your party. Go show off how big you are.
Yes, and that's not too hard. And you have a fantastic night. What's your name again?
Agravain.
Agravain. Wow, what a great name they picked for you, huh? Almost sounds like aggravated.
Hmm.
Wild. Or vain at that point too, right? It's in your name. But yeah, I won't forget at this time. Hopefully, we'll see how the night goes.
We'll see. And enjoy the moniker, Big Red.
We'll do. And Agravain, before we go, do you drink?
By one of my pastimes, I did mention, I'm not sure if you heard or not,
Oh,
wine.
I kind of wasn't listening to you that well.
Oh,
Wine.
I see. Did you have a problem hearing?
No, not at all. You're just so soft spoken. Usually typically when I speak to men, they're very, very, deep manly voices I speak to. But it's okay. We're fine, right? I understand. You do drink. You said wine. Do you drink ale by any chance at all?
No, I don't drink common drinks.
Common drinks. Well, I guess tonight, I will be a great wine drinker, even though I just don't really like it that much.
You and Alice apparently both can't handle the finer things in life.
Oh, no, that's not it. We just rise above the finer things and quite a bit. And that's the funny thing that you say, because the finer people, as you quote, are the ones that need us apparently the most. So, if you do drink wine, I am quite a drinking man, and I would love to have a couple drinks with you. Maybe later on we could speak some more.
Perhaps. We'll see if the occasion arises.
Oh, you know what? Usually I'll just make sure of it.
Well, we shall see, my new friend.
Don't use that word so loosely. Thank you, Agravain. Pleasure was all mine.
Yes, indeed. The pleasure was all yours.
Yes, and I'm gonna go back to my lovely woman that you don't have.
He did come with a +1, but he's like, of course, go enjoy that woman.
I paid her off. All right. Thank you, Agravain. Bye-bye.
And he heads off. Very well done from the DM. Okay. Great combo. The next up on the list is Alice and then Zanny, but we are a little at time. Let's take a 15-minute break. For anyone who didn't see last time, we have a video of sorts. So everyone out there, hope you enjoy the video that we created, our CNC special, Castles of Calamity special. I'll see all of y'all in 15 minutes. Take care. Welcome to Castles and Calamities. We're an American Dungeons & Dragons actual play web series, currently running 2 weekly games, one on Tuesdays and one on Thursdays. Our shows started streaming in August 2023 and have brought forward hundreds of episodes full of incredible story, memorable characters, complex NPCs, emotional role-playing, and exhilarating combat. We have lore, we have heroes, we have magic, love, and wit. So let's dive in with a little special insight video about castles and calamities. Join us as we tell you a bit about our journey, starting with first who we are.
We've gained and lost people along the way, but the four of us you hear today are four of those who helped create Castles of Calamities and have been here since the beginning.
Gassan.
Brian.
Tim.
And Aaron.
Over time, we've grown beyond the original four and currently have 9 players spread out across 2 campaigns. We are a group of friends who started playing during the pandemic. A lot of bad things happened in 2020, but one of the good things that came out of it was the popularization of online campaigns. Our first campaign together started in March of 2020 when several of the original players met through a campaign they found on a Facebook post.
After that game began to fizzle out, we wanted to continue playing together and started our own campaigns. 2 of the founding members acted as dungeon masters, with Gassan starting what would become the Silver Age and Brian starting a campaign called Singers. They're sometimes playfully referred to as Order and Chaos, respectively, because of their contrasting playstyles. The Silver Age is a direct prequel to the current Tales of Tellos Steam Age, and was a campaign that took place in a fantasy setting inspired by Renaissance Europe, full of mystery and political intrigue, as a group of adventurers journeyed across kingdoms and plains to combat an evil group called the Harbingers. Singers was actually an acronym, which is how Acronymic Adventures got its start, and stood for the Sigil Investigation and Neutralization Garrison of the Extraplanar Rangers. It was a fun and chaotic campaign that had each player play 4 different characters that traveled to different worlds to combat evil. It's not a direct tie-in to the current campaign, but is only a slight crossover reference, as the world of Heptagonia was one of the many worlds that the Singers visited.
As those campaigns came to their end, we realized we wanted to continue their stories and keep having fun together. Not only that, we wanted to bring in new players to expand our stories, and we wanted to stream them so that we could share these vivid worlds with friends, family, and anyone who loves a compelling tale. That's how the initial idea formed for Castles and Calamities, and we launched in 2023 and started streaming our 2 current campaigns, The Tales of Tellos and The Acronymic Adventures. Gassan, aka Order, runs the Tuesday series Tales of Tellos, and Brian, also known as Chaos, runs the Thursday series, The Acronymic Adventures. Currently, we have weekly sessions for both campaigns streaming live on Twitch and uploaded weekly to our YouTube channel.
The Tales of Tellos is a collection of campaigns that takes place on the world of Tellos. It is a large planet with 2 moons and has an extensive history of magic, heroes, wars, and political intrigue. The current campaign is called the Steam Age, and 200 years have passed since the events of the Silver Age. The Industrial Revolution has come to the lands of Eremer, a land of harsh deserts, lush oases, and bustling cities. New innovation and technology is pushing Eremer to grander heights. But for all of Eremer's industry and magics, civil war threatens to tear apart the mystical lands of the Sultanate. Neighboring nations seek to steal her secrets, and an ancient enemy seeks to bring about the end of the world. This is a story of many stories, with heroes, criminals, and travelers helping determine the course of history. The Tales of Tellos is a campaign set in a rich world with deep, expanding lore, complex characters, and of course, lots of actions. It airs every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Acronymic Adventures is our other mainline campaign in a separate setting than Tales of Tellos. The current adventure is the Guild campaign, set in the world of Terrasol on the continent of Heptagonia, a continent shaped like a 7-pointed star with a wild creation story involving the literal tug-of-war of the continent by rival dragons. The land itself is ruled by the Adventurers Guild, and the players start in the academy that trains those with talent in an attempt to prevent accidents of unrealized potential manifesting into danger. The land has gone through many catastrophic events and is currently recovering physically, technologically, and socially, but there is always trouble brewing under the surface that sparks many an adventure for those brave or foolish enough to seek it. Guild is a campaign where chaos reigns. Magic, mystery, and fortune are out there waiting to be rediscovered. Are you ready to join the grand undertakings in Land Divided? Join us Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Castles and Calamities is order, chaos, and everything in between. A group brought together by friendship, fun, and a love of storytelling. Both campaigns are expected to last several years, and hope to continue with future campaigns in the same worlds. We'll also be releasing new content, including character interviews, lore, art, game discussions, fan communities, and maybe even new campaigns in new worlds. So stay tuned.
You can tag along on our quests at Castles and Calamities, all spelled out, no spaces, on Twitch and YouTube. Or take the easy route and just click on the links in the description. We hope you feel like a member of the party, laughing, crying, and sharing in all our victories and adventures as you join us on this journey. Welcome to Castles and Calamities.
Welcome back, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that CNC special. We aired it last time as the first time. This is the second time we're airing it. We're gonna air it every time we have a new our sessions and everything. It's just a fun time, and a lot of work went into it. And just want to thank everyone that was part of it. But let's get back into it. The group is in there discussing and schmoozing and doing things with the elite that have been invited and accepted. The invitation to Alice Mizere's dinner party. So, speaking of which, let's go to Alice. Alice, among all the gifts from some individuals, you also receive a gift from Faiz Salah. He is a human entrepreneur, investor, real estate, and owns Faiz Stadium. And he gives you premier tickets, box seating for the next few soccer matches that are coming up, or as they should call it, football matches that are coming up. So you have a private box as a show of support from the Faiz Stadium and Faiz Salah himself. Is there any reaction from Alice as she receives this certificate for the premier box?
Yeah, she is going to express her thanks and let him know that she has a very dear friend who has been dying to go to the soccer games, and this would be a delightful treat for all of them.
Great. Who do you immediately tell?
Erlon. Actually,
Erlon.
no. I've given him one gift tonight, as far as he knows.
As far as he knows. All right.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. All right. So, Alice, what are you doing throughout the dinner party? Who are you schmoozing like in particular, or are you schmoozing just everyone in general? What's going on with Alice throughout the night as she is the hostess of this event?
So about what time are we starting, like, the first course? When do the appetizers start? Is that before everybody gets here or after everyone has arrived?
I mean, the way I would interpret it is appetizers are being served like right away.
Okay.
So people are able to come in, get their drinks, get the light snacks, especially because it's like chips and hard bread with housemaid's dips. These are just, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Zanny, because you're the chef.
First course is served right out the gate. It's literally being served as guests were already coming in. It's on the tables already.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm dying. So somewhere between
Dying.
the antipasto and the starter dish, like once she's fairly certain that at least the vast majority of everybody's here, Alice is gonna stand up and give, like a little thank you speech and toast and whatnot.
All right.
But
Go ahead, read your speech.
It's
As
really-
everyone,
it's
all the
long.
eyes turn to you.
Oh God! All right, look, I'll keep it under 3 minutes. I promise. Possibly.
Speech.
Awesome.
Speech.
So Alice is gonna get up in front of everybody. She's gonna do the classic, like, but
Yep.
not the dink dink dink. Basically just
Roll a
in.
d20 to see if you break your glass.
I'm not doing it that hard. I'm not that drunk.
This is a don't roll a 1 territory.
Okay.
You're fine.
All
Okay,
right,
that would have
yeah.
been hilarious.
Just bam. No, she does. She's kind of like stands up in front of everybody and she ding ding dings to get their attention. She waves and she's like, "Hello, everybody. I wanted to step up here for a few minutes and sort of express my gratitude with all of you for coming. And I promise, although I'm a bard, I will not wax poetic for longer than." And she kind of looks at her. She pulls out a fake watch and go, "Longer than 20 minutes. So sit down and enjoy yourselves." It has been so nice to reconnect with you all here. It has been so nice to see you. I feel like I've been gone for an eternity, even though I've been only gone for a few months, and it feels like it's been a while since I've graced your presence for a dinner like tonight, so that's why I thought it was important that we would all get together whilst I'm in town before I'm whisked away on more important peacekeeper business, as I am so busy these days. I do know how coveted my dinner parties are, though, darling, so don't worry. Once I am home again for good, I will be having one weekly to make up for all this lost time. You have something to look forward to. As I'm sure you're all aware, there are a couple ulterior motives to this little soiree beyond catching up with, longtime friends, dear people I'm close with. I obviously invited everyone here tonight because in some way, shape, or form you have all played your part in these last few months in supporting my husband, be it verbally, emotionally, in the press, just by coming through in our time of need. And I want you to know that we are thankful for each and every instance of it because you have stood behind my Brucey whenever he has needed you the very most. I think you all know deep down somewhere that this probably wasn't just an isolated, targeted event, and this is something that could have happened to any of us. Someone or something or some group has violated our trust in the system and one another and seeks to pull us apart and ostracize us from the public. And for what gain, truly? What they don't account for, however, is the sense of loyalty that runs through all of us that has kept us so close for so long. When I look around this room, I see the foremost thinkers, the innovators of Zarek, men and women who know what it means to work hard and diligently for what they have and what they want. You all know what it means to persevere and be at the top of your craft, because nobility no longer means what it used to be. You can't just inherit your parents' wealth and sit and rest upon your laurels fat and happy. You actually have to work for what you have these days, because I've seen progress be the ruin of many rich men. So she does kind of look at Lance during that, even though it's not his fault. She does kind of glance at him. A fortune handed to you is worthless if it's not invested properly or turned into a profit itself. So I know that together we are some of the best and brightest that Zarek has to offer. I say all that because when I originally suggested this dinner, my group did tell me that perhaps instead of you all, I should open my doors to the common people rather than, my friends that are here today, because it is the common people who have turned their back on my husband during this time. Obviously, I disagreed because I think it is important to someday earn back their trust, but it is also far more important to show our gratitude to everyone who has stood by us in these very trying times, because I think that everyone within this room is, well, the heart of Zarek, and I know by name several people who will hate me for saying that, and they'll say, no, Alice, the common person is the heart of Zarek. Without the common people, you can't have a city, and while that is true, when people think of Zarek, they think of us. And when people think of us, they think of Zarek. We are the people who have created Zarek into what it is today. We employ the masses. We make sure that they have everything that they need. So I would dare say that we are the best that Zarek has to offer. So all this to say is that I'm very grateful to all of you for coming. I'm grateful for your patience, for your support, and most importantly, I'm grateful for your loyalty to us during this time. Just know that your kindness does not go unnoticed, and were the shoe on the other foot, I know Brucey and I would be the very first in line to vouch for all of your characters. That being said, I do hope you'll let me make 3 toasts and 1 announcement. So she's got a nice glass in her hand. Alice has not been without liquor this whole evening, and she's probably somewhat tipsy, but that's fine. She's fine. Don't worry about it. To my husband, I would like to offer the first toast because he is one of the strongest, most optimistic men I've ever met. His fierce determination and unwavering love and support, even when life is throwing absolutely everything it has at him, he still manages to smile through it, and it makes me proud to be his wife. To the Crimson Peacekeepers, I want to say thank you to all of you for showing me what actual loyalty looks like, because you took me in and you helped me grow these past few months, and you made me realize what it's like to have accountability and loyalty in a group of people who are not actually related to you, and why that is such an important characteristic and virtue to have in people you truly care about. And finally, I'd like to raise a toast to everyone here tonight, because without you, my husband's character would have been dragged through the mud, and you have stood behind him during all of this, so you are the very best that Eremer has to offer. She's going to raise her glass and she's going to chug the whole thing. Absolutely unladylike.
All right.
Should I make a con save?
Roll a performance check.
Okay. Okay, I thought I rolled a 7. I was like, all that, and I rolled a 7.
All right. You raise your toasts after 3 toasts that you dedicate them to. You raise it up, and many people clap and cheer, and they toast with you.
As they're clapping, she is going to wave her hands and go, one last thing before I release you to the rest of the party. You will notice tonight that our menu is a little bit extravagant. It's a little bit, what's the word? Interesting. It's very Rian influence. As you know, my parents are from the Ria, and many of my party members are from the Ria, so thought it only appropriate that when my dear Dr. Zanny, Chef Zanny tonight, approached me asking if she could help with preparations for dinner, I allowed her to take free reign. After dinner, if you would all, at some point, if you were so inclined, let Zanny know what you thought of her cooking, and if general consensus is that it's good, it's interesting, it's something you want to see more of, then perhaps in the future there might be a more permanent establishment where you can enjoy this kind of fine dining with more regularity.
Roll persuasion check.
Yeah. Respectfully, I'd like to luck that one.
This is your second luck point, right?
See.
So go ahead.
I rolled a second 5, so we're just gonna stick with the 5.
Okay, 18 it is. So, all right. Definitely a lot of interested people trying to look for Chef Zanny. Chef Zanny, are you being very open about it, or are you kind of like keeping to the corners, trying to not be swarmed, so to speak?
Zanny has been just kind of awkwardly going around place to place, kind of half talking to people and half checking on people to see if they need, any food or anything. She's almost like half naysaying tonight. But when Alice makes the toast, Zanny is just like, she was standing on her chair for the toast, so to be like apparent and respectful, and then when she gets to Zanny's part, her face is just blood red. She's just,
Awesome.
hi.
Hi. And immediately goes and hides. All right. Please roll a stealth check, Zanny.
Oh no! She doesn't try to run and hide. She's just there. She's just there holding up the glass in cheers. She's not gonna just take off running, but she's just like, yeah, hi, thank you. Appreciate. I'm not really good at public speaking. Thank you very much, Alice.
That's okay, you don't have to be good at public speaking when you're that good at cooking.
Any last thing for you, Chance, before we switch to Zanny?
Alice?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
You
Alice.
mean
Sorry.
Zanny or Alice?
I was like,
wrong words. Alice, anything else before we switch to Zanny?
No, Alice is just really making a point to be seen by everyone tonight, so she's not doing anything like specific one-on-one conversations. It's more she's floating about the room, trying to be present everywhere.
Okay. And then roll me a charisma check with advantage. 17. And is that your final offer for the...
Yes, I only have one more luck point, and 17's good enough.
Okay, just checking. Very... It's still a success, but it's just a 10 on the die. And I do look at that. I do look at the die number, not or the die instead of just the total for it. Okay, cool. 17 is good. You definitely are not necessarily like feeling like one-on-ones are making strong impressions, but you definitely are doing a good, decent job schmoozing. All right. Zanny. What is Zanny doing throughout the dinner process? Is she schmoozing? I know you mentioned before she's half schmoozing, half making sure everyone has good food. So are you targeting a specific person or groups or more random?
It's kind of like she's checking in on everybody just to make sure if anybody needs refills on their plates or on their glasses. But then she's also using that as kind of like her in to start conversations with people that she wants to. Like after they say I'm good or I'm not good, if she wants to actually keep talking to them, she's like, oh, and while I'm here.
Great.
That kind
Is there
of thing.
a particular person you want to try to talk to, or just that's like in general?
Well, her eye went to about the size of a diamond whenever she saw the last name hers on the guest list, but was very sad when Aisha was a no-show. But instead, she's actually wanting. She thought she might talk a little bit with Varric Garin, and just kind of almost kind of shoot the breeze back and forth about medical techniques, like what they employ in Aramir versus what we employ in the Rhea, and just kind of maybe do a little exchange of ideas.
Yeah, he definitely talks about because he's the owner of Garin Orthotics. He focuses on surgery. He's primarily with grafting of clockwork limbs is his specialty. So he definitely is like with amputees, and he kind of discusses a little bit of like the types of like medical procedures and elements when you're talking shop with him for it. Roll me.
I
Oh,
definitely
sorry.
do at some point in time bring up the idea of prosthetic eyes as well. Obviously, as a person who is single eye currently.
Yeah, he does mention like the idea of like clockwork eyes. Those are much more difficult, but he does say that he does dabble in them a little bit. But they are much more expensive, more powerful, and more unique. But especially because of the Civil War, a lot of his attention has been more focused on limbs, as you can imagine.
Yeah, and making sure that we have a decent amount of battlefield medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's with Varric Garen. Anyone else you are particularly talking to? And well, before that, roll me a charisma check with advantage.
Okay. Let's see. There we go.
8. It's very much. Well, let me add. Any bonuses? Anything else you want to add to that, or just 8?
Oh, just sorry. When you said charisma, I figured I was actually just doing a flat charisma check. Or is it persuasion?
It's a charisma. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, then I'm just going to. I don't have anything that I can really put on that, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries.
So-
So you talk to Varric Garen, and it is like you do talk and are able to like exchange ideas, but you get to feel like it's more going through the motions as opposed to like a strong-ish connection for it.
Yeah, needs to do it because I cooked the food, not wants to do it because it's actually interesting conversation.
Correct. But not impolite, but just going through the motions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes also doctors just don't want to talk about work outside of work. A lot.
Exactly.
So, and the other person that was kind of on my personal list to talk to was Vimeris Summernight.
Headmaster. Gotcha. So you do talk to the elf, Headmaster Summermite. He is the headmaster of the University of the Rian University of Zarek. Talking to him, you find out that he is kind of like part of that joint program that it was established. The idea of like, hey, let's create a cultural exchange point to discuss things that are more Rian in nature in Aramare. There's been a lot of backlash, a little bit with like how much information is being exchanged, especially with like Aramare's protectiveness of its technology versus how much invasiveness do we want the Rian culture to be part of Aramare.
Yeah.
That's just the backlight of it. With the headmaster, he does seem a reasonable individual, very like professional, upstanding with things as you talk to him. Is there anything in particular you're discussing with him?
Well, it one of the things I wanted to talk about was just whenever I'm in town and available, if he would want, I'd be willing to offer services as an adjunct professor.
Okay. Roll me a. You're offering to be an adjunctive professor. I'm gonna ask for another charisma check with advantage.
Okay. Oh, thank goodness! Stay
18.
on that 16.
Do you mention your last name?
Oh yeah, I introduced myself properly and full name.
Yeah, definitely that brings the clout. That rations with 18. You kind of have the feeling that you're gonna subvert some of the jump ahead of the list of other people that are applying, but you definitely have a connection here with the headmaster. A potential adjunct professor could be something in the near future. Great.
Fantastic. I think the rest of it is just like I'm small talking with him about curriculum and stuff like that. It's just what are you offering, and we're talking back and forth about like what they're offering and what they want to offer, that kind of thing.
Okay. I'm gonna offer you one last thing, Zanny. You can only pick one, even though it's like throughout the dinner, it's everything. There's a lot of people and a lot of plus ones. Do you approach Nigel Hesla of Hesla Electric or do you approach Henry Grandhill of Grandhill Motors?
Um, I think just out of sense of decorum, um, because I believe Mr. Elderberry is here. I'm gonna not talk to. I'm not gonna talk to Hesla, but I would like to talk to. Oh God, you just said his name. What's his last name?
Henry Grandhill.
Henry Granthill. Yeah, would like to try to, if there's time, strike up a conversation with him.
Yep.
Like
You're able to talk to.
absolutely fascinated with his technology and the like the automotive industry and uh, very much would like to almost um, if I can keep up with him, be a part of it.
Yeah. You definitely, so just as a quick background check, he is a different motorist. Let's call it that. Different motorist industrialist.
Yeah,
Than the other one in Timoshk.
yeah, because they were the ones doing the other one, the other
Yeah, so
cars
they're
things.
different brands of vehicles, different styles, and different engines. It's an interesting thing to see, like which side is executing that groundbreaking technology when it comes to the automotive industry. Where Amir Badul invented the Amir Mobile, Grandhill is trying to create his own um, automatic mobile or automatic carriage. Um, he's kind of like the Henry Ford, so to speak, instead of the Mercedes Benz, the other one, or Carl.
Gotcha.
No, Carl. There we go. But yes, you are able to strike up a conversation with Henry Grandhill. Are you trying to just like establish a connection, or are you trying to create sort of a partnership in the future?
I'm not looking to like establish one now. It's more like I'm planting the seeds for when I educate myself better in motorized technology. Perhaps maybe we can work in the future. But it's the conversation is really geared more toward like him and people like him have really inspired Zanny to start moving into this as her next field of expertise.
Okay. Give me one sec. I forgot I was just gonna write something really quickly. So before you roll, I just want to just make sure I post this so that way it is not something that is forgotten. There we go. There we go. Just for record, for fun keeping inspirations. Uh, but yes, let's roll a roll a charisma check with advantage. 18. He definitely seems interested. He has heard you of course, introduced yourself as Zanishar Venteri. He's heard of the Venteri family. He is originally, his family is from the Ria. He's definitely grown up a little bit in Aramir. Um, he's interested in seeing how things will progress, whether he should take his shop. Well, he doesn't say that, but he basically he's like he really is interested in the automotive industry, and he does mention like wherever he may establish his factories. That's that's the word he uses. He is definitely interested in having the Venturi work alongside him, or at least offer some insights as he develops this technology.
Fantastic.
Yep. Make sure you write you down the things that like different contacts for that.
Yes.
Otherwise,
yeah, for for Henry Granthill, and there we go, got it.
Yep. All right,
And
Alice, roll me a D4, please. A 1. Roll me a D8, please. Okay. funny enough. So the roles I'm asking you is which row it is. So there's 4 rows, you can tell, and then the number is the column for it. So Nigel, you rolled the d8 for it, the last one. Nigel Hesla, a individual who is of a shorter. He's a gnome. He goes up and he introduces himself to you, and he's grateful for the invite, representing Hesla Electric. He does kind of talk to you. He doesn't necessarily come with a he doesn't come with a gift, but he does come with an offer, saying like if you ever need anything, any maintenance on your house, any electrical devices, he'd be happy to offer like a free consult for it. So nothing physical, but he does make that kind of like a very kind offer for that. It's a soft offer, but definitely is offering advanced electric equipment, as he calls it.
Oh, okay. Alice is going to thank him. Probably not going to ask him if he knows how to work in a extra planar area, but she is going to inform him that she does have some electrical work that she is interested in having done.
Yeah. You give a diplomatic answer, especially because you know Theo Elderberry is around, and they are definitely keeping their distance, along with Frederick Rice, who is the telephone company with Rice Telephones. Definitely is keeping their distance from Theo, as they all hate each other, or at least they hate
Politics.
Theo because patents. All right, let's go into the final parts. We're going to go into now like just last things you want to highlight or mention with regards to the dinner. If there's any particular RPs that you want to have, let me know either like in here in session, or we can take it off session if you'd like, but just let me know. Let's start off with let's just want BRB. Let's go to Chance. Chance, is there anything last thing you would mention that you're doing throughout the dinner, and or any particular conversation you want to have in game or in RP text?
It's more of what she was doing before. She was going to have a conversation with what's his name?
Yarden,
Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah. She's not going to talk to Emery because he needed space and she doesn't feel like lying to him. But he is being followed by Hamra. I don't know if he notices that or if he will interact with her.
Well, he never met Hamra, but that is a point.
No, I know he didn't meet her, but just if he notices that there's just like this little fox like hanging out by him.
Yeah, he does like see it, and let me just roll to see if this is something that he likes, or is he like, why is this familiar following me? I'm just gonna roll on it. So 11, I'm gonna give 10 or higher. He's gonna like, oh, this is novel. 9 or 1 through 9, he's gonna be suspicious, especially because of what he just learned. 18. Okay. So he sees the cute fox following him, and he's like, oh, you're too cute. And he pets Hamran, gives her some chicken, and she immediately is in love with him. And he gives her some stitches. And go ahead.
Oh yeah. And then Jack's assignment was to kind of watch Agravain and make sure he doesn't do anything in Alice's house, like make sure he doesn't like sneak off and plant something, or you know.
Yeah. Roll a perception check for a fox. And I'll give it advantage because fox, and this is over a long period of time. 14. Okay. You notice him like the only time he kind of quote unquote disappears is when he goes into the restroom. Other than that, he's pretty much schmoozing and trying to network himself with the different people here. Using your lip reading ability, you are able to see that he talks about a lot of like work and network with or at least opening things up with papery industries to more central and more eastward endeavors. He frames it as a yes, we want to compete with paper cut press, which is more heading that way. We want to try to make that more connected for it. but it just seems odd, especially in this party when there's a lot more focus on Western endeavors. He's talking about more eastward endeavors. But aside from that, nothing overly suspicious from Agravain. And then, yeah, if you want, we could take the conversation with Yarden and Lily in RP text. We can do that.
Yeah.
Lily,
I'll do
I should say. All right. Lance, you're back. Is there anything Lance is doing throughout the dinner as we wrap up the dinner part?
No, I think he's just still going around and schmoozing more people.
Okay. Roll me a d4. Two. Okay. Roll me two d4s. Okay. And roll me two. One, two. Wait. Yeah, roll me 2d6, please. 8 and a 6. Okay. All right. So, bumping things in different directions. That's fine. You definitely talk to Frederick Rice, the person who owns Rice Telephone Company. So you're able to schmooze and get a better connection with him, which I'm not sure if this would be something that Lance would try to pursue, but talking about phones and maybe even extraplanar phones, at least like phones in one device in one plane, not connected necessarily to another plane, but definitely some discussions there or how it would be abridged. And then you talk to one of the judges, Tifa Supple, and talk to her about the situation about different laws, changes, and certain loopholes Lance would try to find out about necromancy. But other than that, you do make a good impression on a lot of people, especially as you are dedicated on schmoozing, minus Monica Madlash.
Can't win them all.
Can't win them all. All right, let's go next to Erlon. Erlon, are you doing anything else in particular throughout
Any of them.
the dinner?
No, I think that he's gonna take that time specifically to really catch up with Eloquin.
Okay.
And then he will still make some glances, or not glances, but definitely keep tabs still on Agravain. And just awaiting the drinking challenges that are soon to come, most likely.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. With Eloquin, do you want to have any particular things you're saying to Eloquin right now, or do you want to take that into like RP?
I was gonna say, yeah, if we could do RP with that, that'd be nice.
Sure, not a problem. So RP.
Because it's gonna be mainly, like I said, just really catching up.
Okay, not a problem.
Bless you.
All right. Alice, you get another gift after your toast from Bashar Adam, the person who owns Bashar Bowling Alleys. He gives you a certificate for 3 free games at the bowling alley.
What the?
Alice actually seems particularly thrilled with this, like more so than she actually should be. Like she's genuinely excited about this.
Okay. Like anything in particular she's saying, or
No, she's like, oh, darling, we were here a couple weeks ago and we had a fantastic time. I mean, I taught 2 of my friends how to bowl. It was delightful.
Yep, that was the same when Erla was chucking the bowling ball. So, great. He's excited. He's like, yeah, bring your friends. It's good for 3 games, 2 people, but definitely can upgrade or go for more if you like. But speaking of which, Alice, anything else you are doing throughout the party?
No, not really. Her main thing is ensuring that everybody actually genuinely just has a good time.
Okay.
So that's her main goal here.
Roll an insight check with disadvantage, and then a charisma check with advantage.
Okay.
17.
Maybe
Good.
don't give myself super disadvantage. I'm gonna actually use my last luck point on that.
Your last luck point. This is gonna be the time.
Yeah. A 16.
So for a total of 23. So
Yeah.
great. So insight, you're having a hard time reading a lot of people just because a lot of them know how to guard their emotions and everything. You get a sense like, yeah, most people are enjoying it. Some people you're like, are they enjoying? I think they are, but I'm not 100% sure. But you do feel confident that you threw the best party you can based on the circumstances. And a lot of people appreciate that. So 23, you get one more gift. Roll a d4. 4. Roll a roll a d6, please. That was the
Wait,
Alice,
what?
you are approached by Agravain, who gives
Fuck.
you 4th row, 5th
Let's
row.
go.
He gives you and Bruce a bottle of wine. And is like, for a fantastic toast and everything. Here's a beautiful bottle of red to remind you of just all the finer things in life. And of course, to remind you of all the friends you have, including that one fellow, the red man.
Alice is like, she has a working relationship with this man, correct?
It is Bruce Mazer's
Yeah.
business partner. Bruce is the president and director. He's a vice president and director.
Yeah, she's gonna look at him and go, oh, darling, for a man with as much taste and class as you, I just can't believe that this is what you got me.
I know Bruce loves red. It's his favorite wine.
Don't let Elon hear you say that too loudly, please. No, I know. My Bruce, I'm still working on him, okay? All right, one day I will bring him around to the gin and tonic.
Well, don't change him too much. For better or for worse.
Well, thank you for
But-
coming, darling. It has been a pleasure to see you. It has been quite some time.
Of course, it has. It has been an absolute pleasure. A very enlightening party to see everyone here joining us. So, best of luck with everything. Bruce, don't forget to let me know how things progress with the lawsuits as soon as you find out anything from that devilkin attorney of yours. So, with that, have a fantastic night, the two of you. And he goes with his escort out of leaving the Miser mansion. Literally, like, yeah, the red man. All right.
No, Alice just turns around after he leaves, so her back is to him, and she just mouths, "Oh my god," at Bruce.
He's like, what? What's wrong with him?
Nothing. I just forgot how insufferable he can be.
Only a little bit, but he's not wrong. I do love my red wine.
Well, I will break you of that nasty habit one of these days, darling.
He gives you a kiss, takes the bottle, and kisses you again, and then hurries off to drink it.
At least I know he won't take my liquor.
Right. All right. And that will mark that as your last gift, Alice. I was rolling behind the scenes, seeing who would give you what and everything. So, wow. All right. Zanny. What is Zanny doing for the rest of the night?
She's just kind of doing final checks on people. She doesn't drink herself, but once upon a time, she used to make cocktails, so she makes drinks for everybody else and passes them around. But I think at some point in time, she tries to actually sneak off and follow Bruce and go catch him for a minute.
Okay. You were able to follow Bruce as he's opening up the red bottle of wine. And he's like, Zanny, how's my wife's best friend doing?
Oh, bless you, honey, that you called me that. I'm doing all right. Actually, I was coming over to check on you.
Something I can help with?
No. I was actually coming to check on you. I just... There's been a lot of... let's speak frank here. It's just us. There's been a lot of bad shit come you and your family's way, Bruce. And I just want you to know that, you know, outside of the Crimson Peacekeepers, if you ever just need help with something, you let me know. I mean, tonight was about you all talking to your friends and letting them know that you're all still friends, but it was about fostering connections too. So this is just kind of me taking advantage of that and saying, you know, you're not just Alice's husband. You're my. I'd like you to be my friend too.
Of course. I mean, well, I know this isn't like overstepping it, but I do consider every single one of you friends. In part because you protected my dear wife, in part because each and every one of you is an interesting person.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I feel the same way.
Great. Now, you don't drink, so I'm not gonna offer you. Hope you don't find that offensive.
Oh no, not at all. I hear you're a wine man, so you have that all to yourself. I used to be a whiskey girl.
Yep. Definitely need some after tonight. A lot of conversations.
You enjoy yourself.
I'm all down. I'm all for, but just it does wear on a person.
Yeah, it does. I get that. I just wanted to let you know that it's not just a, hey, if you need anything, let me know. I know you and your family have been going through some shit, and if you need some help, no matter what that help may be, I got your back.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I do appreciate that. Apparently the Ria makes fine good folk, yourself included.
Oh yeah, they do.
If anything comes up, I mean, you have any medication to help with workouts? I know Erlon's regimens that he's recommended have been very tough. So if you have anything that would help sore muscles, I would be actually appreciative of that in particular.
Well, you know what? Let me come back by tomorrow. I got a couple of pain medications. I can dilute them down. You know, they're high grade, so I can give me the night to dilute them down for you, so that's something you can kind of take on an everyday basis. Should help you out a little bit.
Excellent. Well, that is a good. Be very happy with that.
All right, sounds good. And I'm just going to say, I've heard that there has been rumors of you and the missus possibly trying to have, starting that family stuff.
Not anytime soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see about that.
We're designing, hoping maybe like after her adventuring days are over. That's when, ideally, definitely trying to take those potions a day to make sure no surprises happen.
Oh, you use those things. Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. You're fine.
But enjoy the rest of your party.
Sorry if I'm a little too nosy. It's just
I
get that way.
You're a good person. You're a good doctor trying to help where needed.
Yeah. Like I said, I ain't that good with speeches and people and stuff, so, But I'm good with the medicine.
I just read Alice's gonna baby trap this man. Jeez. All right. Anything else for Zanny?
No, after that, she's just like, you enjoy your bottle of wine. I'm going to make sure that the rest of the night goes off without any hitches.
All right. The dinner ends. Alice, you feel it was overall a success in rallying support. How successful, you're unsure, but you feel confident at the end of the night. As the last guest leaves, roll me a d4. And a d, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 2. One of the port masters, Sky Full of Stars, is the last person to leave. He's in charge of the docks, the skyport. So he does mention, oh yeah, like you should take like a sky trip one of these days. But doesn't promise anything. But you definitely have cultivated good relationships where maybe an ask may be easy in the future.
Isn't that where Simone works?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So the Catkin thanks you for a wonderful evening, and he's the last to leave. That being said, as a group, is there any conversation you guys are having as a group before we break off into the next day and wrap ups in Zarek?
I think Zanny tries to like check in with everybody at the end, just kind of like, I think that went well, don't you?
I have swooned on a couch in one of the parlors. Yes, for lunch. Oh,
Yeah, that went well.
If not, let's go ahead, Erlon.
Oh, I was just gonna say aggravating's a twat.
Oh, yeah, I saw you talking to him. How'd that go?
Oh my god, it was so great. It was mainly about me, per usual, and he was just a feeble little man.
That sounds about right. I like
Oh,
it.
actually, it wasn't just all about me. We were talking quite a bit about Bruce.
Oh, you got a thing for him or something?
What, Brucey Bruce?
Yeah.
No, what? Zanny.
No, does he have a thing for him?
Oh, I mean, he wants to basically take over everything of his. No, I believe in other things, actually, because I rolled so shitty. He does state that he does like Bruce and what he does, and he stated that he wants to, obviously, with his goals in life of wanting to be rich and have a woman and yada, yada, yada. I mean, he seems like he's not.
It was
Ugh.
like kind of the usual rich slub spiel.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
Like
he
I
just,
have a lot of money and I just want to have sex.
kind of, maybe. I don't know. He just wants to be like Bruce, I guess.
Oh, well,
there's no one like Bruce.
I agree to that. Like,
Yeah.
was it like unhealthy levels, or was it just like I really respect Bruce, or was it like I wish I had his life, and if I could, I'd kill him and take him over and marry his wife?
Oh, I can't really tell. I mean, it was more like the respect, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, what do I know, right?
Did seem very interested in the East, though.
Did he? Okay.
I mean, bits of conversation that I heard,
Huh?
investing with the Eastern.
Interesting. I don't know, why would somebody from here be? I mean, I understand why somebody from here would be interested in the East, but I don't know. To bring it up here, I don't know. It just seems like a
Yeah, it seemed a bit odd, right?
yeah. That's out of. It just seems out of turn for me. You know, you're in the West. Why are you talking about them?
Yeah. Unless he knows something or he's plotting something.
Yeah. Could be talking that he's acting on knowledge that he knows that we all don't.
I mean, we do know something is going to happen in the next month.
Yeah.
I'm honestly a little sad. Amol was not here.
Yeah. And what was that? What was that shenanigans at the front door with the lady? She got real sick or something?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, she was the shifter.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Probably a doppelganger.
Okay.
As soon as she hit that anti-magic field, it made her sick, and then she wouldn't let me poke her finger, so...
Well, okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that doesn't necessarily tell us that's them, but definitely suspicious.
Now that song is stuck in my head. Don't be suspicious.
Suspicious?
Don't
Don't.
be suspicious. Sorry. Continue.
Yes, I was sad that we had some no-shows. I was looking forward to talk to Aisha Hurst. I didn't know that you knew them, Alice.
Darling, I know everybody.
It's just fancy coincidence.
Better question is, who do I not know?
And
That'd be
Alice, I
much-
will say, pause for a second. I will say that is something if you want, number one, to send thank you cards. Also, if you are wanting to try to find out why certain people just did not show up, that is, excuse me, that's something you can also try to follow up on. But with that being said, let's shift into different things that you guys are doing because we only have like 30 minutes left. What you guys are doing as the plan is, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, peacekeepers, you guys are going to try to travel to Jeddah next to speak with the Arif Diab al-Aziz to see where he stands with the war.
Time to do that check-in.
So, what are you all doing the next day as you prepare to leave? Let's go with Lance. Lance, is there anything you're doing in Zarek the next day in anticipation of leaving? Any last wrap-ups you want for this city?
No.
Okay. If you do think of anything, let me know. Also, if you purchased any like specific magic items, and that let me know, and that way I'll also make sure that they are in D&D Beyond. Great. Let's go then to Chance. Any last things you're doing wrap-ups with Zarek within Zarek?
Well, okay, so what is the timeline? Because Revnos and the Traveler did not give us a day that we were leaving.
Mm-hmm. So Revenos is there. If we talk to him, he basically says that the trammel is almost ready. Wherever you guys will go, he'll find you and deliver that trammel for it. The dwarves are.
So are we on our own to travel someplace to get to Jeddah? So are we on our own to get to Jeddah?
I mean, do you need assistance? I thought you had a magic carpet with things.
I mean, it's going to take us 3 days, so we should leave today, the 13th, if we're going to get there. It's going to take multiple days.
I do believe your friend Lance also has a teleportation circle to Jeddah.
I thought he did not.
Lance, this is DM question. Do you have a teleportation point for Jeddah?
No, you said it was Ardita.
Ardita. Okay. Take that back for a moment.
unless they have one they can give me to Jeddah.
Let me just look back at our conversation. Give me 1 sec. I see you mentioned there, but just okay. So I found it. Let me just read what I posted. Yeah, that was when you got the dancing macabre. Roll me a D100, Lance. If you roll 51 or higher, you have a Jeddah. If you roll 50 or lower, you have Ardita. Ardita. Okay. Well, I thought for a moment your friend Lance had it. If you need to, I can whisk you away, teleportation style, a little outside of Jeddah so that you don't trigger the wards. You'll have to walk a bit, but I think a 4-hour walk is preferable than a hours or days of traveling.
Right. So when?
So do you need to go tomorrow?
I don't know when the rest of the group needs to go.
Okay. I'll just say, does everyone agreeable for the group to go the next day on the 14th to Jeddah?
Because we're meeting on the 16th, right, with the Reef?
Yes, or the meeting with the Reef actually is as soon as possible. Is what?
Yeah, we didn't have.
It's just ASAP. I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just need to be there by the 16th. I do not care where the rest of you guys go. I am going to be in Jeddah on the 16th.
Got you. So yeah.
All right. So for story wise, we're gonna say the 14th, unless otherwise objections. So yeah,
Oh.
Chance, is there anything you're doing wrap up before noon when you guys are leaving?
Well, then she would, and she might have, if depending on when she knew this information, uh, she probably would have dropped a note to Emery to get coffee in the morning.
Okay. Great. Let's see. So that's a note. Coffee. Emery and Chance. Great. Let's then go next to Erlon. Is there anything Erlon is doing before he officially leaves? Zarek?
Not precisely. When he leaves Zarek, though, he will be obviously bringing little orange, big orange.
Okay.
So,
Well, don't ever say little orange.
yes, did not say it.
I feel like
but,
someone saying little red.
yeah, big orange will be coming with him
Great.
or accompanying him.
All right. Big Orange is accompanying the group. Otherwise, if nothing else, Erlon, let's go to Alice. Alice, is there any last thing you are doing the morning of, right before you're leaving Zarek?
My husband.
What
No,
about thank you cards?
I can send those from Jedna. I will start them, but I want to make sure that I'm ready to go. So, yeah, I'm going to start my thank you cards for sure. I'm also going to leave Skylar in the mansion.
Okay,
Bruce is now real Naysayer's in charge of him now.
Gotcha. So at the mansion, you and Skylar will be taken care of.
Yes. I think that's everything. I'm going to trade out a couple of the dresses that I purchased on my way and put them in my closet and then take like one back out again.
Okay. Also for you, I think you also mentioned purchasing magical items, so make sure you send me your final list of magical items, and I'll
Yes.
make sure that they're created in D&D Beyond as well.
Perfect. My booties of the stepping on my ghost toes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's one of them. Just make sure give me that final list sooner rather than later. That way I have time to create them.
Okay, I will send it to you right now.
All right. And Zanny, is there anything Zanny is doing before leaving Zarek?
I finished just making sure that any shopping that wasn't done just gets finished up. She's good on ammo right now, and I sent you my list for all of the other stuff that Zany was picking up. Quite a few like magic items and a lot of miscellaneous like clothing and gramophone stuff, and a lot of it's for smuggling purposes.
Yeah. Great. If you could just so that way it's like the first thing that I see instead of me scrolling, can you just like reply to that?
Not a problem.
It's closer for it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep, I'll make sure that it gets bumped to the top there, and then yeah, Zanny's just finishing that up, and then she's packing away anything that's not an active project so that she can try to continue it on the road if she can.
Okay. You also do know that you have the fortress now, so you can always, depending on whether you guys set up a base or something, a door in Jedna or outside of Jedna, you will have access to that. Otherwise, suitcase.
Yeah. I think really what that just entails is that she's packing away her alchemy lab, her +2 alchemy lab. She's just packing that away until she is certain that wherever they are going is also going to be connected to the fort.
Perfect. All right. You all.
Oh, and she takes like she's packing away all the. Zanny has all of her bags because she's a bit of a hoarder when she leaves places. She's like packing away all her magic items, like she's going to the kitchen, grabbing all the perfumes and all of her tomes that she's had and all that stuff. She's like literally packing her life up in her bags of holding.
Gotcha. Right. Perfect.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Does Nasir have any magic? Real Nasir?
No, he is a normal human.
Um, is there a way to get that beholder skull in a bag?
I would say no, because it's a large creature. And you put the beholder in the room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would say unlikely. Unless you could
Lance is
find a one.
Lance is worried about the ward
Hmm.
if we're going to be gone.
Gotcha. Bruce is a caster, so as long as you give him access, like tell him he's allowed to go in what room, he could go in, and as long as it's just a caster, he could use a first level spell slot to reinforce it. Because he is a bard, so it works.
Alice, is it okay if I teach your husband how to ward?
Oh, darling, that would actually be quite fantastic.
Okay. So Lance is going to spend his day teaching Bruce how to make sure our fortress doesn't, explode and become a corrupt, evil wasteland while we're, traveling for a day or two.
Roll a wisdom check for me, Lance. Nine. It's not Bruce's fault, but you are realizing how hard it is to translate bardic will magic, charisma magic, into here's how you weave the spell and use it as arcane magic in intelligence, so to speak. Because he wants to just like thrust or like cast the magic into it, and you're like, no, doing that can disrupt and break the wards. You need to allow it to follow the lines, and you're teaching him like that. So it's a little difficult for you if you want to ask Chance to also help.
Yes, Chance.
You don't have a lot of patience with that 9.
Lance gets frustrated and just says, "Bruce, stay," and just leaves. It says he stops. He's like, "Don't try it again. No touchy."
Yeah,
Don't
the first time he
move.
tries to literally just cast the magic, and you realize that just casting it will flare or break the abjuration magic. So you go to Chance. Go ahead.
He's just like, Chance, can you? You are the bridge between me, or between my speak and Bruce speak, and me not throwing Bruce off the 60th floor.
And meanwhile, Chance I was just about to leave, but okay, all right.
I just
in there. You're like, all right.
I just want Bruce to make sure that he does the word right without breaking it, so that the skull doesn't leak, evil extraplanar magic all over the place.
I speak both wizard and bard. I can show you how they link.
Okay. And Lance shows you this is how it is in wizard. I need it translated to bard so Bruce can just maintain it until we can get back in here.
Yeah, you don't have to teach him how to make the wards. You just have to teach him how to cast the magic without breaking the wards.
Right. He just needs to come in once a day and he's watering the plant.
He's watering the plant. I just imagine the analogy is like, oh, I water it like this, just dunk water on the plant instead of carefully doing it around the soil. Okay. So, Chance, you're able to successfully teach Bruce how to cast the magic gently into the ward, and now you don't have to worry about that, Lance, for it.
Awesome.
Great. Back to Zanny. Zanny, you want to? I think you want to continue a conversation, correct? With
yeah. I was talking to Chance before, and I wanted to try to actually finish it up.
Okay, go ahead. Take away the scene.
Well.
So, sorry. To set the frame, Chance and Zanny are speaking about fate, prophecy, seers, and oracles, and yeah, that's setting up the scene for it in the fortress. Zanny, anything you want to add as part of that conversation?
I think just kind of as, because we were starting to get to a point where things were getting possibly towards heated, possibly not. It was like one of those like, I think Chance definitely has a high enough passive insight, and Zanny doesn't particularly hide things. It's one of those things of, it's not so much Chance said something wrong, or anything like that. It's like there was like maybe a trauma cord that was kind of sprung, and there's some recoiling. Because I know Zandy was starting to get a little bit confrontive about things. But we were talking about one of us needs to start pushing forward to become the Oracle. Or, we're going to start missing out on the things that need to be happening. And started turning into a discussion about which one of us was going to kind of do it. And sometimes I think I'm hoping lost nuance of text RP kind of Zanny wasn't particularly happy. And just they had kind of hit a level of not understanding each other. And I think it's just two different backgrounds. Like, it's just two very different raised thought processes clashing. And there's a point when Chance is holding up her hands, just like, I'm not trying to fight. And Zane just kind of goes, You're not doing a bad job of communicating. I'm doing a bad job of listening. We should talk about this later. For real. But what I really did mean to ask is just if this is a power that you actually want to use, because this is a power that's so big. I don't think somebody that doesn't want it should have it. But that's me enforcing personal beliefs, so.
Yes, and like I said, it's not that I don't want it. It's that its use would be, it's not the right tool for me. I think I'm more effective with the different set of tools that I have.
I'm not going to use the right word in this, but it's the best one I've got. It would be a useless tool in your box.
Not useless, more unused. Collecting dust.
That's a better one. Okay. I get you.
Like, I would use it when necessary, but I would not use it in intermediary time.
Yeah. I think where we're butting heads, honestly, is our differing definitions of necessary.
And like I said, I understand why Lord Abiad did it. I can understand why you would want it. I understand it, and I even understand the use cases, but again, for me, it's something to be used so carefully as to only be used like the wish spell, and you have the option to make the wish spell and do something out of your mind. Like you can imagine anything, right?
Yeah.
There's a chance you're going to lose it.
Right. And not only that,
So
but there's a chance that it eats you.
Yeah. So most of the time you don't do anything. Most of the time you do the things that are within the space part of wish, right?
Yeah, you just kind of, copy other spells because it can do a little bit of anything.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that for me. Like it would have to be some emergency use case when I can do the same thing that I'm trying to accomplish for the intermediate uses, just using my seeing abilities and my ability to work with time.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's wrong for Lord Abiad or you or Dice or anyone to use it. It's just not right for me to use it.
No, I get it. Because, it's kind of funny you picked that spell specifically because, that's a goal of mine, is to be able to eventually grant them. And that's even independent of all this. That's something I just wanted to be able to do. It's one of the things that's kind of the pinnacle of what I can do. Philosopher's Stone, the secrets of life kind of thing. It's the epitome of my kind of work. So I get where you're coming from. I just don't feel the same way. It's a goal to be obtained for me. Other than it's more than just a power. It's a goal. It's a thing to harness and learn and understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to be crazy. I mean, ultimately respect it above all else. But it's just, I think we just feel differently about it. And you know what? I'm alright with that.
Like I said, I mean, if you don't want to do it, I will take this on to use it for this, like I said, emergency use case kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not my goal to become an oracle in the way that Dice travels around and does a bunch of different things.
I get you. No, you would use it to save the world, and that's it.
And the rest of the time, I'm a writer, I'm a teacher. I will take this ability to see the past and use it to write things down, show people the past that they didn't know that they didn't know, and help them make choices that way, as opposed to influencing their choices directly.
And that's what we should be doing. And that's what should be done all the time. And I agree with you. It's one of those things I feel like I don't know. What we do is necessary, but I don't want to live in a world where what we do is needed, Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things. But no, to answer the question that we started with in the first place, yeah, I would want it. And I'd be respectful of it, but I would also hope my friends would help keep me in check. Make sure I don't do something absolutely fucking stupid with it.
Well, I've already got to babysit Lord Abiad, so you're on your own on this.
Oh no, Lance can babysit me. I've been babysitting him long enough. He can take his turn with me. But no, I
don't think it's necessarily that we disagree, but just the tools that we would use are different to get to the same place.
Yeah. We both want the same thing. I don't want to sit here and write everybody's life for them. I just want to give people enough time that they can make the right choice, and that's all you want too. I just end up doing a little bit more than that, but never for anything other than just making sure people don't fucking kill themselves.
Awesome.
That was not the only favor I had.
You wanted to talk about that book, and
I did.
no, I haven't read it. I was actually going to read it today.
Well, maybe you can just use your former knowledge, or your experiential knowledge, and then we can look things up in the book if we need to.
Yeah, I've lately it's been really easy. I've been starting to I didn't read books for a long time, and I've really started to get back into them because all of a sudden it's like it just sticks in my brain. So I was planning on actually speed reading the whole damn thing after I finally planned everything out for this freaking dinner of Alice's. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Anyway, I need to read a book. But yes, I was actually planning on doing it tonight. But what's your questions?
All right, so I have an idea of a thing that I want to do in the next few days. So we know that corruption is countering any seeing ability to see what's happening to Lord Aviad or them. And we know that there's one of the other harbingers that has some way to cancel sending because they sucked it up when we were in Tamash, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have any hope of sending to him. Now, I don't know whether that would stop some of the, not really a communication style and not really often used. I was wondering whether dream might work.
You know? Yeah.
But the only problem with that is that we also know that corruption has one of those dream creatures in their head.
Yeah.
But you also have a dream creature. So I was wondering whether maybe they could be on my side and be able to get me out if something happened.
You know, honestly, I could talk to them and see if they could help out. I will tell you, just speaking from personal family experience, dream will definitely work as long as they're not dead and actually sleeping. But if we're dealing with some kind of thing like that, they could very quickly invade it and attack you. So yeah, you definitely need backup.
Yeah. So that was kind of where I wanted to see whether you might be able to convince them to provide backup on our side if I tried it. I was also thinking I would try it. I mean, the best day is obviously going to be the holiday. That's when corruption's going to be the weakest.
I can ask Ashara. There'll be we'll have to coordinate it with her because while she is technically everywhere with my family, she can only be in one place at any point in time. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to the prime plane. So we'll have to coordinate it if we're actually talking about bringing her to a place where she could help you. But yeah, I don't see that. It's the hardest part will just be me talking her into it. The last time I asked for her help, I may have crossed the line and made her a little bit upset.
Okay. All right.
But I'll definitely take my shot.
So I was thinking. Between the right when it crosses over into the 16th, like midnight between the 15th and the 16th. I mean, of course, assuming that he's asleep, I hope that part works out.
Okay. You know, I might even be able to go as far as to ask her to check to see if he is dreaming, because that's kind of her world. I don't know if she's capable of it, but I can ask her if she can do it.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah. But I know there ain't too many like her, but she's definitely one of the safe ones. Usually, if you ever see something that looks like her, if you ever see her, run.
Right.
Just don't fight it. Don't look at it. Turn and run. She's the only one
Alright.
that's safe.
All right. This is good.
That's
Solid.
that's the first start. I cannot stress how few good quarry they are. There really aren't that many good ones. She kind of led the rebellion and got out, I don't know, a couple dozen, and that's about it. So,
And I mean, clearly, whichever one is corruption is not one of the good ones.
absolutely not. I'm, truth be told, I've been kind of worried it might be an old enemy of the family coming back to give us one middle finger before we send them off to the fucking nine hells again.
I mean, if nothing else, maybe also if I do encounter it for a moment, maybe then you can identify it.
Yeah. I would be interested in trying to see if I could possibly ride along as in your consciousness while you're doing this to maybe also give you a helping hand.
I'm not sure how your psychic stuff works. Maybe.
It's an extension of it. I don't know how it would work, but I could at least give it a try if you'd be willing to let me.
Yeah, probably mostly.
Another
I might
pair
have
of
to
eyes.
go over there and plug your ears, but
Well, you know, all you gotta do. I'll give you a code word. When you say a code word, I'll just turn it off. I can't hear anything.
right.
Yeah, I ain't here to listen in on your dreams. I'm just here to make sure you get there and they don't turn into a nightmare and eat your brain.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, because when you wake up, I'd like for you to very much still be you.
Yeah, me too. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know that this is a safe option, but also I don't have any other ideas for communicating. I'm hoping this might work.
I should work up a protection from good and evil potion for you, because they, you know, if you run into something like that in there, they will try to possess you, and that'll definitely keep them out.
All right. Okay, this is good. This is planning.
Yeah, I can work up a few ideas. I mean, if you're just talking about general dealings with aberrations, honey, I already got you covered. I don't need no book. I already know these sons of
Yeah.
bitches.
It was more the dreaming part and the
Yeah,
specifically stuff in the dream. So
yeah, and there's none of it's friendly. It's called the dream, but none of it is friendly.
that's not reassuring.
Yeah, it's it's an aspirational name for the plane.
All right. Yeah. So we've got, I guess, a couple days. Like I said, I'd like to have this ready the evening of the 15th.
Okay,
I'm also
yeah.
going to ask. I'm also going to ask Erlan if I can borrow his cloak.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. But yeah, that gives
Just in
me
case
more
I
than
get
enough time.
exhausted.
Yeah. Because you may be, dream doesn't necessarily give you a restful sleep, especially if you're attacked. So yeah, you would definitely want to wear that and combat against being tired when you woke up, or if something caught you in there.
Yeah. Also, in order to dream at the right times, that's going to mess with my sleep schedule for the next few days.
Okay. I'm sorry. I forget y'all do like normal sleep. I'm like 4 hours and I'm done.
Yeah, well, I wish I could pull that off.
Hey, you just
Much more
medical
useful.
training. Medical training. You learn to live on about 2 to 4. It sucks. I hate it.
On that note, the group, after conversations are had, the group heads out. We'll pick up next time with session 75. Where we're gonna pick up is the group arriving a few hours away from Jeddah. Gonna have to do a little bit of a hike in order to, because the teleportation wards gotta do a hike, and we'll see if something happens there. As you guys return to the first city that you, as a group, went to, and we shall see what happens with Arif Diab Al-Aziz.
Should I also call him? I mean, I'll call him and tell him when we're arriving,
Yeah, probably wise.
so we can figure out when we're actually meeting with him.
I'd say that the next day he would meet you bright and early the next day of the 15th.
Okay.
But yes, with that being said, thank you all so much for a wonderful time. Thank you so much for a wonderful time with the session. Great times with the dinner party. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see all of y'all next time. Take care, everyone.
Also, Erlon, can I borrow your cloak?
Yeah, Erlon, in canon, do you allow Chance to borrow your cloak? I think Erlon may have fallen asleep or is away. So...
We've lost
That's
our
all
man.
right.
Oh, wait, what was that?
It was me. I just said we lost our man.
Yeah, we lost our man. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll confirm that afterwards. But for everyone out there, thank you so much, and see you all next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.